69 has been exploded into a ball of fire. Rather like my anus was that time you treated me to Mexican food.
But how, Sperm? How? How could it have happened?
I think that spicy Latino food does not agree with my half-horny system.
No, Sperm, I'm talking about the space station.
It wasn't built very well. Just like your ship. Cheap paint, thin plywood, used nails. You guys don't get much of a budget for these things, do you?
Mr. Sperm, she knows something we don't know.
The ship's being pulled into a black hole.
She'll swallow that other ship faster than a $10 English wharf swallows semen.
Sperm, are you sure there's humans on that ship?
Affirmative, Captain. Captain, my deep, probing sensors indicate that 3 of these forms are feminine.
Put a tractor beam on that ship, screw you. We must save the babes.
So Uranus is inhabited.
No, Captain, not since I've been using the coil shampoo. It's...
Open hailing frequencies, Lieutenant, you whore.
Hailing frequencies open, Captain Sugar.
We're going to penetrate Uranus.
Say what?
Yeoman, your tonsils are fine. Now I'd like to examine the rest of you.
Yes, Doctor. Should I undress now?
Of course, your mouth isn't the only orifice I plan on examining.
On the last ship I served on, the doctors only examine the women every 6 months. You do it daily.
Damn it, Yeoman, I'm a doctor, not a calendar.
Space. It's big. It's real big. And it's dark, too. These are the journeys of the Starship Plunderer. The crew's mission to seek out and exploit new races, to build factories on distant worlds, to reap profit for the United Federation of Earth Corporations, and to boldly make out with fabulous alien chicks like men have never made out before.
Captain, there's a funny little light blinking on my panel over here.
That's a sensor alert, Captain. It tells us another ship is approaching at ultralight speed.
Squatty, quick! Raise the shields!
Aye, sir.
Well, there was someone on board, Captain.
Yes, and they've done something to Mr. Sperm. But what? Boner, what's happened to Mr. Sperm?
They removed his genitals.
Oh, I had the same reaction.
Captain, who would do such a thing?
I don't know, Squatty.
We're patrolling close to the neutral zone. Perhaps the Dingons.
No. The Dingons are a proud race of macho men. They would never do this to another man.
Maybe it was the Romulanians.
There've been no reports of Romulanian vessels in this sector. No. This is a race we've never encountered before. We are not dogs to be shackled in collars.
Those are obedience collars you wear, and as long as you wear them, you will do what I say.
Or what?
Or this.
Captain's log, production date, June 22nd. The intercourse is approaching Deep Space Station 69 for the scheduled pickup of Charlie Walker, the lone survivor of a spaceship crash over 20 years ago, marooned.
Any second-rate transport ship could schlep this guy back to Earth. Why else?
I don't know, Boner.
Approaching Deep Space Station 69, Captain.
Visual transmission coming in, sir.
Captain Quack, and then welcome to you and the crew of the Starship Intercourse. I'm Commander Headshees. She.
Holy premature ejaculation!
It is a woman.
I can see that, Jackoff. Lieutenant, who are you? Contact squatty down in engineering. Tell him this one better not beam over inside out. Boner, you're with me. Mr. Sperm, the count is yours. Space. It's big. It's dark. It's spooky. These are the voyages of the Starship Intercourse. Her crew's 5-minute mission to spread the seed of humanity to any hot-looking babe in a spacesuit and to boldly come where no man has come before.
Deep Space Station 69 has been exploded into a ball of fire. Rather like my anus was that time you treated me to Mexican food.
But how, Sperm? How? How could it have happened?
I think that spicy Latino food does not agree with my half-horny system.
No, Sperm, I'm talking about the space station.
It wasn't built very well. Just like your ship. Cheap paint, thin plywood, used nails. You guys don't get much of a budget for these things, do you?
Mr. Sperm, she knows something we don't know.
The ship's being pulled into a black hole. She'll swallow that other ship faster than a $10 English wharf swallows semen.
Sperm, are you sure there's humans on that ship?
Affirmative, Captain. Captain, my deep, probing sensors indicate that 3 of these forms are feminine.
Put a tractor beam on that ship, screw you. We must save the babes!
So Uranus is inhabited. No, Captain, not since I've been using the Quell shampoo. It's...
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Butter Zone. Does that work?
You know, back in the day, you would have at least faded out the intro. Now you can't be bothered to do that. You're like,
let's just say I've cut a few corners on production. That Paramount Skydance merger has really hit us hard, and there's been a few layoffs behind the scenes. So yeah, it's not as slick as it used to be.
Trek Time is going to be one of the first properties cut from the Paramount merger.
Oh, hello guys. So, we're here. We're joined by the one and only, and we had a bit of a shock about 5 minutes ago when Shy turned up with this amazing moustache, which, how long has it been taking you to sculpt that? Are you going in for Poirot?
What?
Oh, hang on.
Entirely different direction. Brenna's tired of it. It's all on my shoulders now.
Oh, wow.
No, I had grown out a beard last year for a movie, and then I was like, hey, I wonder if this will work, and lo and behold, it did. So it's still relatively new. I am past the eating it when I eat food stage, almost.
Oh,
but
sorry, 1 second.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Sorry, my son was calling me. Yes, mate.
By the way,
oh wow, they're talking now. That's amazing. Wow, a lot of time has passed. They're actually
they finally met. Yeah,
That's
I know you missed the
amazing.
last few streams, but his wife has come in drunk on about 65% of the last few timeline streams.
Now I have to go back and watch some.
Yes, sorry about that. My son was calling me. He's just gone to bed and worried where Mum was. She's out paddleboarding tonight, while Otto's trying to tell me about the weird operations of things that happen to cows.
Her life sounds so much more interesting than yours, Idol.
It really is.
Why is that?
She likes going out and doing things. Well, I'll tell you what, we did actually go out last night and go and see McFly. We went to a concert out in the...
How was that?
That was really good. It was McFly, Sam Ryder, and a few other bands as well. And yeah, it was sort of like outside tent, and it was they were good because they placed the tent at the bottom of the hill, so wherever you were on the hill, you could see perfect view of the stage. It wasn't too crowded, some good food, good atmosphere. It was really nice. Kids enjoyed it as well. They didn't moan once, which was brilliant. Because usually one of them would just go like, "I'm bored." I'm like, "Well, we're here." But that was good.
All right. If you're just tuning in for the first time, I don't believe you, but we have on the docket a lot of Strange New Worlds discussions, since that is kind of the one Star Trek property ongoing. A little bit of Paramount news, some Star Trek Academy news. And then, if you're still with us and you haven't fallen asleep like Shy often does to our streams, we'll be tiering the Admirals of Starfleet. Everyone from Nechayev to Nora Sati.
Oh my word.
That'll be a hoot.
That'll be the event of the next hour. What are we talking about? Go on.
Are we ever going to bring back the awards show? I feel like that was the one.
I think we
time
may do at some
enjoyed
point.
putting effort into this stream.
Yeah, I got a tuxedo and everything.
I do miss putting on the suit and then also turning up with his massive aviators and the American flag behind him. Like that was.
I have them somewhere.
Yeah, we'll bring that back at some point, I'm sure. How about a bit of news we might catch up? This is real. You know, I kind of want to talk about this particular news because Shy is here, especially.
I'm going to talk about his mustache a little while longer.
I'm just.
What movie was this, or are we not allowed to know?
It was for the no, I could talk. It was for Song Sung Blue. I've told you guys know about this movie, right? This is for those who don't know. I'm in a movie called Song Sung Blue. It's a Neil Diamond jukebox musical about a real life couple that were a Neil Diamond tribute band, and they are played by Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson. And
and you're playing Kate.
Yeah, I'm playing Kate.
Okay.
You know, it's a little bit of a stretch.
Wow.
Now I play a Thai restaurant and karaoke bar owner who hires Hugh Jackman's character when they're down and out on their luck. This is a real story, and they have to just. It's just a crazy story that the things that happen to them. So,
There you are. You are on
but yeah, we
IMDb.
get to sing.
You are some chai.
Apparently, some chai. Exactly.
Some chai the Thai.
Exactly.
Some kind of
shy.
So you also did karaoke recently. Was that related, or you've just now gotten the bug?
No, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm Asian, so I've always had the karaoke bug. Yeah, but at a venue here in New York, I just started a new show called Storyoke, Sing and Tell, where people come and they tell a story about a song. Yeah, either their connection to it or like some historical fact about the song itself, and then they sing the song. It went great. The venue immediately was like, let's do it again, so it'll be coming up again.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you doing any UK dates?
Live from Stonehenge.
I'm still waiting for Khan the Musical to come over here. Waiting for the international tour.
Talk to Brett. You have Brett's information.
That's true. I do have.
Talk to him.
The way viewers may be shocked to learn that Shy did not insist we get in all of his plugs when he came on the stream. We're just kind of.
That's very true.
We're just kind of letting him do it anyways.
Yeah, this is not a promotional tour.
Yeah.
Song Sung Blue coming out soon.
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day? Is it really? Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Happens to be a Thursday this year.
The irony is, I was going to ask you about Storyoke and then ask if you could sing Neil Diamond. So I guess the connection was there all along.
Is that Neil Diamond?
Yeah,
song?
I told a little set story and then sang the song that I sing with Hugh in the movie. So
I was bringing up Spotify if I was that planned and surprise you with it. How about something that's a bit more in your wheelhouse? So, Shy, and this specifically for you. Very recently, there was a trailer that came out for David Mack and Christian Bale and Nicholas Meyer's Khan, the audiobook series. An official trailer was out. Would you like to listen? Because it is a very audio trailer. Would you like to listen to said trailer if you've not already?
Yeah. If you don't mind using up precious showtime.
Oh, it's absolutely
We've already
fine.
gotten copyright struck for that intro theme, so
That's fine. It's fine. I am not worried about copyright strikes at this point, so we'll be fine. Here we go. You should be able to hear this.
This is Star Trek Khan, the untold story of Star Trek's most legendary villain.
Captain Sulu,
The new pieces added to this puzzle by the logs I retrieved on SETI Alpha 5 only confirm my belief that Khan was much more than a mad tyrant.
What is it you hope to achieve here? Khan and his people are dead.
It is my intention to find the truth. Help me find the rest of the story.
Featuring Naveen Andrews as Khan.
Kirk did us a favor. From this quintessence of dust, we will rise.
Weapons ready! Fire! Ren Schmid as Lieutenant Marla MacGyvers.
The simple fact remains that we are both here now and must find a way to share this world and its dwindling resources.
Sonia Cassidy as Dr. Rosalind Lear.
In my experience, monsters are made, not born.
With Tim Russ as Ensign Tuvok.
Vulcans find it incredibly difficult to lie. Why this renders us especially sensitive to the lies of others, I am not aware.
And George Takei as Captain Sulu.
Khan was one of humanity's greatest mistakes, a product of ill-advised genetic manipulation.
If there is any justice in this universe, one day we might avenge ourselves, starting with Captain James T. Kirk.
Star Trek Khan, coming soon wherever you get your podcasts.
So is that the first time you've heard that, Shy?
That is the first time I've heard that.
I thought
yeah.
I thought you would have seen that. Wow. Because that came out, I think it came out like a few weeks ago. But anyway.
We put this all on the channel, and Shy doesn't read any of it. That's just...
Well, the problem is, you know...
with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm too busy rewatching Superman over and over and over again. All my free time is just going to the theater to rewatch Superman and Fantastic Four.
So, as a Khan expert and proclaimed version of Khan, what were your thoughts?
Well, I have my own headcanon about Khan and like the eugenics wars and all that. But so this trailer doesn't give away much, which is great. You know, I like trailers that don't reveal a lot. But what it does show is that I was completely right 13 years ago when I screamed into the ether that Naveen Andrews should have been Khan instead of Benedict Cumberbatch, because he clearly understands the assignment here. He is like chewing the scenery in Montalban-esque fashion, even just his vocally. It sounds great, and MacGyver sounds really good too. I like the sound of the MacGyver actor, MacGyver actor there.
So my question is, in terms of continuity, because obviously it sounds like it's going to be flashbacks with Sulu and Tuvok. They're going to talk about we found some logs of Khan's expeditions, but it sounds like it's all going to take place on SETI Alpha.
Oh,
no, because they
that's
said
not flashbacks.
Tuvok.
Those are meant to be Excelsior years with Sulu, and then they're flashing back to researching because there's someone doing an archaeological excavation on SETI Alpha 5. So the whole series here is clearly a flashback.
Okay. But then there's Marla MacGyvers as well, who was in that era.
Yeah.
Unless she's going to be the historian.
Yeah, because the whole thing's a flashback to his time in SETI Alpha, and I'm assuming they're going to flash back to some eugenics war stuff at some point, or maybe not. Maybe it's all just hell on
the sand
rain in hell.
Yeah, I never. Read
Is that what that comic series was?
Yeah, there was.
I never read them either. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever end up watching that Nicholas Meyer interview I linked?
Not the whole thing. I do want to get into it though.
I
thought he was being too self-effacing, because at the beginning he's like, "Oh, I'm just like some guy, like Roddenberry's Moses, and I'm just some guy." It's like, no, Myers, you're like better than
Joshua. So that's a fairly important historical figure biblically.
Yeah, but he painted him as just like an administrator. Like, oh, Joshua was just a good administrator. He knew how to make the camels run on time. Like, that was his... Is
a Mussolini reference really needed that? Okay, no matter.
No, I didn't mean to do the Mussolini reference. It was just accidental.
Not the first time we've done that on this stream, by the way.
No. So apparently this is coming out on September the 8th, so actually really soon, less than a month now.
Nice.
Which is kind of quick considering, I mean, I know podcasts aren't probably the hardest things to produce. Like Big Finish puts out like dozens of audio dramas every year.
Let me tell you, this podcast has taken years off my life, so don't knock how hard it is to make a podcast. Anyway, the reason I asked that is actually because Meyer says in that interview how much he enjoyed directing Montalban, and the first time he tried to, very gently, he wasn't sure how it would go over, and Ricardo said, "Oh, you're going to try to direct me? Good, I need a little direction," he said. And of course, Shatner's the opposite, where he had to beat him down until he stopped acting, and then he was good. So,
yeah, he needed a lot of direction, but yeah, they're both great. You know,
well, they're no Shyaporn, but they have their niche.
That's true. Ren Schmidt, you might know from For All and Mankind. She plays, I think, the director lady. If you've ever watched For All Mankind, it's a great series as well. Sort of tells like an alt history of the moon landings, and then like various times after that. It's a really good show. It's worth like when if Russia got to the moon first. Let's kind of base the whole series based on that. It's really good. And Tim Russ and George Takei are back as well. Yeah, it's good to see George Takei stepping into Sulu still. And I don't think he's missed a step in terms of that character, despite
he loves it.
Yeah. But
yeah, he loves the character. He loves what the franchise has given him. He's like a very appreciative guy. He's just a cool dude.
So, Shah, you're obviously much more up to date on secondary Star Trek material. Are you aware of any role that Tim Russ has ever turned down in Star Trek fandom? Because I'm pretty sure he's been in everything.
Look, you know, you gotta eat.
Sure,
people gotta eat.
I'm not knocking him. I'm just curious.
I mean, like I was saying about Takei, I think Russ really appreciates the franchise and the fandom, and really liked doing that character. So why not do it again?
Do you know one thing they should have done in Voyager is had like a time travel episode where Tuvok has to take human guys and go back to when Picard was left on the Enterprise, so they could have filled in that little plot gap of where it was like Tim Russ's actor, but it wasn't Tuvok. It's like I had to assume human identity in order to... Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Trials and tribulations.
Yeah, but with something that happened like 5 years previous or 10 years previous, maybe. The timeline there.
They could call it Tuvoculation.
Have you had a Tuvoculation lately?
Never mind.
I just Tuvoculated myself. Okay.
Next topic.
Speaking of legacy actors thinking about getting into Star Trek productions, Scott Bakula has been talking quite earnestly about Star Trek, about how he wants to be on a proposed series. And this has a little more legs than what you might think.
This is clickbait, isn't it?
Sorry. Kind of yes and no.
Hold on. I'll let you clickbait us before I knock it down. Go ahead.
No. This is just actually genuinely something that was proposed to Alex Kurtzman and the new Star Trek leadership. But Scott Bakula wanted to have a President Archer West Wing type series, basically dealing with sort of like the after point of forming the Federation and having this, the timing would work with his age and things like that. And I think, yeah, absolutely great series. And they went to Paramount when they went to the Star Trek leadership and said that there was generally some movement possibly happening with this series. There was definitely someone's were talking behind the scenes, and then these was something we'll talk about later. The Skydance merger happened, and yeah, they basically said nope, no more series right now. But they were going to call it Star Trek United. Was the working title of a president. I'll see if I can find a. I don't know. There's a bit more of a synopsis. Here we go. It says it was a quote from who's this? Michael Sussman, who was going to be one of the producers, I believe. He says, when you're establishing a new show, I think it's important that it stands on its own 2 feet. You lean too heavily too soon on bringing back characters from other shows or film, you risk slipping into pure member berries. And this is something we're going to talk about a little bit later as well. With United, the ideas Scott and I discuss center on a lot of new characters, but of course there's plenty of opportunities for some familiar faces to appear, maybe even recurring or irregular roles. Would you want to see Star Trek United? I kind of think I would, but
look, ideally, I would just like to see every Star Trek idea they have. like why not? Just if they go ahead, throw it against the wall, and get Aaron Sorkin in to write the damn thing. I'd love it to see an episode where there's a blackout on the station, or where they're walking and talking and someone hands Bakula a pad and he hands it back to someone else after reading it for like 5 seconds. And, maybe there's an admiral that's like kind of their nemesis, but then all of a sudden he's one of the team and there's a higher ranked admiral that comes in and then he's the real nemesis, but they bring him on board with their plucky determinism. Yeah, just Sorkin up the whole thing. Let's do it.
We'll call it Phase 3. That's,
wow.
None of those material have been reused from any prior source.
No.
My first thought is, in everything I've ever heard about Enterprise behind the scenes, everybody loves Scott Bakula. He's super professional, super kind to everybody, intelligent, good emotional IQ. So, if he wants to do something, I would like to see it because I believe that he would be fully bought in and be passionate about it. And so, from that standpoint, I'd like to see it.
Sussman says, one of the aspirations...
Yeah, he never got his musical episode.
No, we didn't know. That could be the chance. Scott Bakula does karaoke. Okay, one of my aspirations would be that the series could do for Star Trek what Andor did for Star Wars. It's a show where you can tell adult stories about adults in a very grounded and realistic way. That's a weird thing to say, that. An adult story about adults. But
no, in this day and age, I feel like that's actually a desired genre. Yeah.
Definitely. And there were definitely hopes, but then, once the Skydance merger came on, I think they basically kind of went, we're just taking a big old... I mean, as you can probably tell by the Stranger Worlds cancellation, which we're going to come over, we're just putting a big old pause and just cancelling everything. The thing about, Andor is, funnily enough, one of the writers or producers for Andor is working on one of the 2 potential new films that Skydance wants to make about the Federation, funnily enough, about a prequel to Star Trek Enterprise. Or, I don't know where this... let me find some more details on this, because it's... Yeah.
By the way, before we get too far away, I gotta say, Shai, this is the first time we've had you on since we've all watched the Section 31 movie. So we have to at least get your thoughts on that before we get...
You're joking, right? Yeah, I watched it the day it came out.
Oh, okay.
And I dodged your little rewatch.
Because you were afraid someone might say something flattering about the entire ordeal.
What was your guys' impression on this? Who had not seen it in your crew?
Cranky,
and Buddha, and Kev, yeah. But the 2 of us had, unfortunately, had to watch it twice.
Yeah. Did anyone react positively to?
No. I think some of the effects with the garbage barge at the end were kind of impressive, but that's kind of par for the course for New Trek. Their effects are very good these days.
Okay. So
now you're a huge Michelle Yeoh fan. So what did you think of her?
I mean, it was just the biggest waste of her talents in recent. I'm sorry that they just didn't choose the right writer and director for that
script.
Was it Olatunde? I forgot what his name is.
Yeah, we've now blacklisted him. Despite nominating him for Best Director one year, I wish I could go back in time and take that one back.
Yeah, he's done some great work, but this is bring in. How many Oscar winners do you have in your franchise? 2? Yeah. 3? Bring in someone. Bring Myers back. Someone. Do something. Not cyber Shadowrun.
Okay.
By the way, we are low key trying to get Shai barred from any future Star Trek production.
Yeah, that's already too late.
Talk about how terrible this is, Shai, and God bless him, he won't do it. So.
If I had the energy, I would generally start a Get Shai and Trek promotion campaign going, because I feel like it's been so many years, it needs to happen. We need to do it before Trek dies again.
I'd buy that for $1.
Absolutely. So yes, this new speculated film that apparently is being greenlit after being actively talked about in the same way that Star Trek 4 watch is in the scheme of things. It's by it's going to be one of the directors of Andor, Toby Haynes, will helm the feature with Seth Graham-Smith writing. The plot is set right, and this is where things get fucky. So the plot is set to take place decades before the events of 2009's Star Trek, which J.J. Abrams helped. So this is meant to start with the birth of the Federation in the Abrams universe. But the problem is, when the Kelvin came through, that's where the split is. So that's just Star Trek at this. That's just Enterprise. But apparently it's a prequel, and I just get very confused. But that's meant to be the Andor for Star Trek. But it's a film.
So it's in the JJ verse, but before the JJ verse existed.
Yes, because if you know, in 2009, that's where both the universes were fine, and then Narada came back, black hole, two universes. As Spock very clearly says in the dialogue in 09. It's, yeah. So unless they're saying, actually it was the Kelvin verse all along, in which case they're going to contradict their own film, which wouldn't be the first time. Oh, you're muted, Shy, I think. Hello?
Yeah, that just sounds like it's just the Kelvin universe. Is this the first Contact split where they're saying that the Borg time travel infected the timeline and there was an additional...
Happened. There was never a non-Borg split, wasn't there? No. Because there were books about that as well. Oh, it gets confusing now. It's getting onto, like...
It is. Yeah, if lifelong fans get confused by some of these ideas, I don't necessarily entirely blame writers and showrunners for allowing certain things to slip through, but...
Well, this is it.
So it's not Cochrane era.
As far as I'm aware, it's the birth of the Federation, essentially, or the birth of Starfleet.
No, they said 10 years before Kirk took command, right?
Well, that's just Discovery.
That's Discovery.
Yeah.
No, 10 years before Archer took command. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that might be it, yeah.
No, you said before the events of the 09 movie, which is where Kirk took command.
Well,
right?
I think there's still more details to come out. They probably are still writing it right now. So
I need to know.
We do need to know. But yeah, that and
I need to know what I can be enraged at as a classic Trek fan before the movie even comes out.
But yes, apparently, because of the Skydance Paramount merger that's happening, they're fast tracking that plus Star Trek 4. Watch. On as priorities for Paramount, whilst cancelling Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, Prodigy, and probably Academy after season 2. So
you always drop the reverb before you get the last watch out, and it drives me nuts. You got to reverb all the watches.
Sorry, I'll let it. Star Trek 4. Watch.
Thank you. There you go. Let it hang.
Is there any news about Star Trek 4? Like what it's going to be?
No.
I think we're all agreed there have to be whales in it at some point, right? Like otherwise.
Well.
Oh, it's a mobile game version of the movie. I see.
No, they're going to announce the whole plot in Fortnite. That's what's going to happen, and then
brought to you by Smuckers. All right, so we're all saying 2 and done with Academy. So if I set the over under at 1.5 seasons, are you guys taking with the news of the new merger? They want to cut $2 billion in chaff from Paramount Plus.
Yeah, but what if it's good?
Well, that's not like people haven't canceled good products before.
Strange New Worlds, for example.
All right, so 1.5 seasons over under. What do you guys taking on
I feel like
Academy?
It's been commissioned for a full 2. I think the paperwork's in that they're going to get a full 10-episode season. I don't think they're going to half-arse it for that. I'm pretty sure that the writing's on the wall on that one. Can't confirm, but yeah, I'm 90% sure on that. I think what is up in the air is Tawny Newsom's series that she's developing, the apparently sort of semi-comedy show that's set on Riser.
That's never going to happen.
No, that one is definitely, as much as that would be interesting to see as like a little spin-off, like mini-series maybe, I don't think that's going to get like a 5-series commissioned.
I mean, they could do a live-action Lower Decks movie, and I think everyone would be on board with that.
Directed by Jonathan Frakes.
There was a proof of concept. Yeah.
Yeah.
Proof of concept already. They did it.
I think they're more likely to do movies at this point than they are new series. It's just much less of a commitment. So
I think there's enough a gap now that there is nostalgia for the Kelvinverse films. There has been that. I'm pretty sure what was Star Trek Beyond was 2016. It's now 2025. It's been 9 years. 9 years. There is enough time there for them to say, let's do the motion picture again.
When was the 09 movie?
Yeah. 09 was an 09. 2009. That's why it's called Star Trek 09. Right, okay.
It's not my best work. I need a better straight man in all this. Wait, I'm the straight man.
We're stars.
So, Shy, over under 1.5 on Academy.
I'm going to be optimistic and say over 1.5. I say they give us a solid 3, like Picard.
Oh, you're going to go for 3?
At least.
Wow.
At least. Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd categorize Picard as a solid 3 seasons, but to each their own.
It's a wavering 3.
Oh, I wasn't talking about quality. I just meant like 3 full quality.
So I dipped into this in our Discord, but I do want to expand a little bit further. I thought season 1 of Picard was pretty good.
Yeah.
Up through about Nepenthe. So episode 7, they were throwing in a lot of new stuff. I like the new characters outside of that one particular subplot. But then they kind of tailed off at the end. Season 2 was like universally panned, and then 3 I think was mostly good because we all like TNG and not because of its amazing writing.
I think 1 was exciting because it was like, you're right, it's new. We're finally going forward in the TNG universe. We all wanted to see especially me, a lore nerd, wanted to see what all the changes were and things like that. And that was cool. And like you said, I haven't rewatched Picard season 1 since it first came out, so I'm interested to rewatch it. I want to rewatch the ending as well and see if that actually is okay on a kind of, as you watch it as like a binge watch. Season 2 started off amazing. That first episode, I was like, holy shit, what are they doing? And then just fell off a cliff so completely badly. 3 for me was, it's like that the person said in the quote I quoted earlier, it's the big remember berries kind of thing. And we've had our Picard season 3 chat. I felt like the thing, that's where I kind of rate 3 worse than 1 because it fell off a cliff in a weird way and just went, fuck the Dominion, here's the Borg.
Yeah, these are insane takes. Season 3 is awesome. I also like season 1 a great deal. I think the new characters they introduced were pretty solid. And the ending was a little rushed, a little like Cyber Cthulhu trite, but
yeah.
Oh yeah, the big claws coming out of the rift. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, it's all his tentacles. It's always like
the
some
ancient
sort of
evil
old gods.
The Zatvash were trying to get hold of.
Yeah, my only problem with season 1 was the scruffy 5 o'clock shadow Romulan guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought an incest storyline would never make it into Trek, and once it did, I'm like, yeah, we don't need that.
Narissa.
I thought Peyton List was really good actually that season 1. I know people diss on her, but
I don't
thought
think she's bad. I think the material is bad.
Yeah. She was
I thought she did fine with what they gave her. Yeah.
They could have done more with 7 and the whole, because they sort of did a brief bit of the Borg Queen plot with her when she plugged into the Borg cube and had that moment where she's like, I'm taking over. It's like, we're not done with you yet, 7. And then actually turns out they were. So we didn't get more of that.
All we got out of that was bad, incorrect honor hull art. That jacket was not worn while she's plugged into the ship, and the color's all wrong. So
don't spin me off into this.
Framing.
Yeah.
Oh, I need that as a clip. Why have I not got that as a clip? I need that.
It wasn't the jacket. It was the sweater under the jacket because she takes the sweater off and it just has a shirt anyway.
the noose she's standing next to. But from what I can hear, just spinning back to what we were talking about, from what I hear, the chief executive of Skydance is a massive Star Trek fan. So for all those that may think that, like, oh, maybe Star Trek's going away, probably not. In what format it's going to be around in, don't know. Maybe the TV side will wrap down and the movie side will come up because we can't have movies and a TV show at the same time. So yeah, not, your audience can't possibly confused by 2 Flash series on at once.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be like Zaslav taking over Warner HBO, where he was just slashing things and canceling Batgirl and all sorts of other nonsense. I think this is just a little pause for restructuring, and then they're going to get back on track. But
yeah.
So here's a thought. We have seen, especially more in recent years with The Last of Us, media companies will draw from video games and then create a series around it. Halo has done it. Lots of series have done it. Have we seen the reverse? Because I feel like if a media company like Paramount went to an established game company and said, all right, make us a Star Trek game. This is what we want to see in it. Why haven't we had that? Or have we? And I'm not
There's
aware
definitely
of it.
been some... There was I forget the name of it. There was definitely a TV series that had a game that ran alongside it. It was like an MMO. And it was set in some sort of like Mad Max.
Oh, William Shatner's Tech War.
Yeah. No, I wish. Oh my god. Could you imagine?
I mean, the mother of all multiplayers is GoldenEye, right? Like that set the new standard for like multiplayer shooters.
Right, but I mean, I don't think that was commissioned by
Defiance.
by the Broccoli Media umbrella.
Defiance was a TV show that ran in 2013 for 3 series and had an MMO that you could play alongside the show.
Okay.
And that was like a kind of a cross-synergy media thing. So there was definitely something... it was... I remember watching the TV series, I think like first season, it was okay. It wasn't anything amazing, but I can't remember what the game was.
I mean, doesn't Marvel have that?
I suppose. I mean, I think Marvel's and like anything in the Disney sphere is just too large that if they do any kind of large MMO or anything like that is just its own thing. But I think what you're saying is like what you think they would do a TV series and then go, by the way, here's our Mass Effect parallel, here's our big RPG.
Well, because I'm just thinking, if Paramount's looking for projects and they don't necessarily want new TV series, we're talking movies. Why not do a video game if they think they can capture a certain subset of players?
The only problem is at the moment, like the big Star Trek game that came out recently was Star Trek Resurgence, and that kind of, from what I gather, didn't really... It was a great game. I mean, if you want to watch it, me and Stars played through it. It was a really good Star Trek game. Like, it was more like, it was pretty much like kind of walking simulator with a kind of like interactive dialogues, but it was definitely made by Star Trek fans. Brilliant, but from what I can gather, it didn't really sell that well. The problem with Star Trek as an IP in the gaming area is you've got, like, back in the 90s, you had the big Microprose products like Birth of the Federation, you had Elite Force, you had Klingon Academy and Starfleet Academy. And
the
those
real golden era.
Yeah, real, honest to God, for Star Trek games, it really was.
Hey, Birth of the Federation is one of the best games ever made. So.
I know. I have a little icon on my task.
We need to do Birth of the Federation talks again and not derail it completely.
Yeah. I mean, once again, this is where Star Wars really excels over Star Trek. Like their video game, like Lucas games. I don't even know what they're called.
LucasArts.
So that's like a
LucasArts. Yeah.
Subsidiary of I was going to say LucasArts.
Yeah, they've really got the game.
Yeah, they just dominate.
We either need like a Mass Effect RPG or like a big Starship Simulator kind of thing, or like, I don't know if you've ever played FTL where you can manage crew on a starship and things like that. And there is opportunities. I think with the gaming area at the moment, everyone it's all very touchy up and down about who's developing what, unless you're an indie developer and kind of make it big. Like the money in gaming is very risky at the moment, especially with a lot of censorship laws that are coming in at the moment, which I know probably wouldn't apply to Star Trek, but yeah, I can see why a lot of people would look at gaming and kind of go, no, that we either got to invest 400 million into this or not bother, because we're going to only make, I don't know, 200,000 off of it. Like I can see why they wouldn't, although it would be great, and like anything to improve Star Trek's merchandising would be amazing. Although I thought about this the other day. Actually, I'm kind of glad Star Trek merchandising is kind of crap, because otherwise I would be more broke than I am now.
That's true. That's the one angle that... By the way, speaking of merchandising, Spaceballs 2 is coming out 2027, I think?
Tim Russ is in it!
Yeah, and Mel Brooks, bless him. He's, 97?
That's crazy. I actually watched, me and Louisa, my wife, watched Blazing Saddles the other day. I hadn't seen that since like the early 90s, when I wouldn't have got any of the jokes because I was too young. Yeah, that's still very funny. We were a bit shocked of like some of the language used in it, which was very... wouldn't say of the time, but definitely inflammatory, which made me and Louisa kind of go like, oh, really? But, of a time, kind of tongue-in-cheek kind of thing. But it was good. We did laugh. Definitely through it.
That's a classic. Yeah. But on the video game front, I wish they had been able to develop Bridge Command a little bit more. That was such a great immersive game, but no one had that system.
Yeah, VR is tough because on one end you kind of want to be able to an edge. On the other hand, you have a much smaller market share than console or PC.
I mean, it is mobile gaming. Mobile gaming is the biggest thing. That's where you make. That's why Timelines is still going. Fleet Command is pouring billions of pounds or dollars or whatever into that advertising. Not that I've ever played it. I think it's like the one Star Trek game I've never played is Fleet Command. Because I
played for a while.
Yeah.
It's just PvP. You just build your base and you get destroyed by people and
sounds fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mobile game. If they can lynch onto a good mobile game, I mean, like you look at Dragon Ball. I know it's anime and that's a completely different subject, but I'm a Dragon Ball fan, so I check out some of their games. They make millions of pounds, and that's not, and that's a big franchise, probably bigger than Star Trek globally. But if it depends on your market, and it's a thing. But yeah, mobile game is the future. Maybe even something that work on one of the portable systems that's coming out. Something on the Switch, something like that. But how many kids? My kids now will look at me and they go, "Dad, what are you doing?" "I'm going to go watch Star Trek." Like, what? I even sat down with Star Trek 09 because flashy, lots of action sequences, and even then, what is it? And they even said, "This looks good, Dad. Is this Star Trek?" "Yeah." I think probably because they know.
This is Star Trek. Oh, the jury's out, son. We're going to discuss it later on if it's a real Star Trek.
When you get the updates about your children, like what are their favorite things that they like these days?
They like the Minecraft film. That's very hot right now. Minecraft.
That was a really good movie.
It was okay. I went to the cinema. They like Minecraft in general. They like aeroplanes. Airplanes are very hot right now, just in general. They like going on airplanes, having airplane figures, pretending to be on airplanes, seeing airplanes in the sky and pointing at them and going, "Look, Dad, there's an airplane." And me going, "Yes, that's the 50th one you've shown me today. Dad, is it a Boeing 737? No, I don't have fucking microscopic eyes."
This guy hates his kids. Oh, God. By the way, Jack Black now has been in a Star Wars property, and I did say on a stream like 2 years ago that he should have played Kaczynski if we were ever recasting that episode.
Did you?
So, is it possible that we'll see? Well, you mentioned the Minecraft movie, and he's been in Star Wars. Are we ever going to see Jack Black in like Academy or something?
God,
I feel like there's a
amazing,
greire than
actually.
10% chance that Jack Black is going to be in Star Trek.
Are we talking about him playing?
He could be a great Zach Dorn.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he would.
That's very good. I don't know if he'd be able to restrain himself though, because the Zach Dorn are very like, "Oh, we could do this." He'd be like, "Oh, I want to make it go." He'd want to really accentuate himself.
He's going to be the music teacher at Star Trek Academy. That's
yes. School of Space Rock, do it.
Oh
yeah.
I would like them to make a School of Rock sequel. I really love that film. That's so good. Where were we? I've completely lost myself now. Okay, so
you were talking about video games.
Before that, we've gone on tangents and tangents now. I think we've talked about a little bit about the Skydance merger. Apparently, they're going to take a holistic approach to Star Trek, which I don't know what that means. What does holistic mean?
They're going to give us a little drop of titrate, like just a little drop, and it'll just affect us.
Is that we will make shit up and sack everyone? Is that what's going to happen? Interestingly, there's been not a lot of communication coming out of the Star Trek camp about all of this merger, which probably they've been given the gag order to say, "Don't say anything, please God, don't say anything at all," because we're still working out. Apparently, someone called Goldberg has emphasised that they've got a new approach to managing.
A wrestler?
Yeah.
Yes.
A wrestler?
Now
Hang on.
Now that he's recently retired, he's going to be in the Star Trek franchise.
Yeah, new approach to managing Paramount's valuable Star Trek franchise. Star Trek is absolutely a priority and is a priority across the company, Goldberg said. "We're not going to be siloed off, so there's a conversation happening about television and another conversation about film plans." Yes, and that was great. Just after he beat Gunther at SummerSlam. No, he didn't. He got pinned by Gunther at Saturday Night's main event.
Saturday Night main event, yeah.
Did you see the clip of the pseudo pro wrestling clip of Obi-Wan wrestling Captain Kirk?
Oh yes, I did. Yeah, the little house show, little sort of amateur thing. That was great.
Oh yeah.
I went to my first wrestling show the other day. That was great, like a little indie one about a month ago. That was really good fun. I really enjoyed that. Took one of my boys and his friend.
It is fun. So I've only been to one of each, one big WWE and then one small indie one. And the indie one I thought was more fun because the performers rely on your feedback. Like if they're a heel, they love to be booed, and if they're a good guy, you got to cheer them. They feed off that. So
my son
in
went
a
up to
small
one of the
room,
wrestlers.
you're like 5% of their fans. So.
My son went up to one of the wrestlers who was a heel and was started like telling was like, "Why did you do that bad thing? Why?" And he was just saying, like, "Go away, little man." And they were a proper character, he was loving it.
Have you gotten this series? They have a independent wrestling group called Kaiju Big Battle here, where all the wrestlers are dressed up as different kaiju, like original.
Do they wrestle on a small
kaijus.
town, like on a model village? Please say
They
they wrestle
fill
in a
the ring
model
with
village.
the ring is filled. The ring is filled with cardboard buildings. And they fight
I need to look this
in the
up.
wrestling ring.
That sounds awesome.
It's pretty amazing.
Oh, all right. Before we get too down the rabbit hole of wrestling,
I feel like we're hitting all the greatest hits of what Stars would like to talk about if you're here.
Should be here.
Just to torture him.
Yeah. Would you like to get yourself a new advent calendar coming for this Christmas as a part of a Star Trek merchandising? However, there's a little bit of a twist with it. So Star Trek Wines are launching a Star Trek themed synthahol wine advent calendar. So this is
non-alcoholic.
No, you can't say that word. It's not non-alcoholic. It's alcohol alternative. Synthahol.
AA for short. We'll never confuse that acronym.
Yes, the 24 bottle collection. Hang on. There is actually.
Leave it to Idle to find this. By the way, his two greatest loves.
Yes. So yes, this is going to be a 24 bottle collection that offers a different wine each day for the weeks leading up to the holiday season. I have tried. Right, I had a brief period where I went alcohol free. Can you believe it? And I tried.
God, you were miserable then. I remember that.
Oh, I did dry January. That was it. Yes. And I tried some non-alcoholic wine. I also tried some non-alcoholic gin. I tried the non-alcoholic wine and went, "This is just grape juice. This doesn't taste like wine."
Well,
some non-alcoholic beers that I've had are good because I've been on stag do's when I've been designated driver and you want to feel like you're part of it. I'll get the non-alcoholic beers and you get some of those and they actually taste like beer and you feel like you're having a good time even though everyone's getting pissed around you and you're just like, "Yeah, guys, can you calm it down a bit now? You're being very loud." Just sort of, yeah. Non-alcoholic wines were just nothing. They were rubbish. So I don't know. There's a synthahol gin. There's a synthahol tequila alternative. How'd you do that?
Maybe look into that for your wife, actually, so she doesn't crash more of our streams. I think I've had one good NA IPA. It was citrusy and almost hoppy, and it was good. That was the kind that I would drink more than once, but those are kind of few and far between.
It's the thing with an non-alcoholic gin is like you'd mix it with the tonic and then you just disappear and it would just go nowhere. And I don't think they just don't. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, they're doing good things with mocktails nowadays.
Yeah.
Like sort of herb mixtures and whatnot. Yeah. But the only good, convincing non-alcoholic wine I ever had was one that was produced by the Grateful Dead in the 90s. I was like, oh, this actually tastes like wine.
Worlds tie-in, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to Strange New Worlds Season 3. Last time we did a little butter zone, we talked about, was it 3 and 4? Did we talk about episode 5?
I think so. But, Shai's new on our show, so if he wants to go back rant about anything.
I'll quickly go through, sure. I thought the season opener was a solid second part, not best of both worlds level, obviously. Maybe we're talking Descent. Maybe just a hair below Time's Arrow.
I thought it was better than Descent, but okay.
Yeah. I think it was better than Descent, but it didn't have the quirk of Time's Arrow. What was 2? That was the
Wedding
Q.
Bell
That was the
Blues.
2 episode.
Yeah.
All right. Come on. How could you not love the bringing in Trelane? I know Otto here is horrified.
Trelane.
Well, so I got to ask you because you would know. Then we're watching this
because I've still been reading this thing. I still haven't made my way through Q squared.
Oh,
so
have you not finished that yet?
I love seeing.
Oh.
No. I just
did you read that because
sits in my
Pete
bag.
David died recently?
Yeah.
It's a shame.
I do need to finish this because of Pete David and also because they just had the Trelane episode, so I gotta jump to that. What was 3? 3 was the holodeck episode?
Well, hold on.
no.
I gotta ask.
Okay.
Wedding Bell
Yeah.
Blues, the Trelane, that felt to me equally at home in Wicked as in Star Trek. Did you get that vibe from the costuming, from the lighting, from all the AR stuff?
Yeah, it was definitely sort of a little bit of a Wonderland feel to it, a little Oz-like through the looking glass feel. But I didn't have any problem with that. I mean, it is strange new worlds.
Well, you're a man of
People
the
complain.
theater, so I wouldn't expect you
Yes,
to.
that's right. That's right.
All right, episode 3. Now that we're getting there.
Was that
is
the
10
holodeck
out of-
episode?
The 10 out of 10 shuttle to Conforti, where Benga's
Here
a
we go, here we
badass,
go.
slaughtering more Klingons. I don't even know who you are. And he just guts her like a fucking pig because he is the man. So what did you think of that one?
Yeah. What was the B plot of that one? Was there even a B plot of that one?
They were trying to get this flower to save Battelle.
Right. Right.
Oh, and then Ortegas was being insubordinate on the bridge.
Yeah,
and alerting the Klingons, that was a good B plot.
Oh yes.
My ongoing theory that Ortegas is just going to turn into a bad seed.
I'm gonna give you praise for how early you called that out. Like after that season 1 finale, and then you were seeing the clues all along. Like she's going down a dark road.
Yeah, Ortegas is slightly spacist. Yeah, that was a solid episode. Yeah, any Mbenga badassery episode is solid.
Sorry,
stuff.
I'm aggressively typing because I'm setting up something. Now.
That's fine. And then it was the holodeck episode.
Yeah, Space Adventure Hour.
I thought it was fine. Any chance for? I think I mentioned I loved the semi-accuracy of the lighting in the Space Adventure Hour set. They used the gobos and the lights on the set. Wesley, I think, could have gone deeper into being Shatner. Like he talks about how he wants his Kirk to be his own character, but then if you have this opportunity to really go full Shatner, you should just go full Shatner.
It definitely reminded me of I watched when he was doing that in my head. I was just like, this is like Shy's hyper STA Captain Kirk. Like this is brilliant. I thought my head is like, has Paul Wesley been watching Shy's STA sessions?
Yeah, I love that set, but I really loved Anson Mount's Gene Roddenberry analog. No one chews scenery like Anson Mount.
So I watched an interview with Paul Wesley today, where he says, in general, he's doing a much more restrained version of Kirk because a lot of the bombast doesn't come in till like season 3 of TOS, and he treats it kind of like a sliding scale where, as it gets more bombastic going through 3, that means that before that he must be even more restrained, which I don't necessarily agree with. But he says in Space Adventure Hour he's doing 110% of Shatner when he plays this character. I forget his name.
That makes sense.
And I'm not sure if he's referring to the in-universe stuff with all the goofy, colorful sets, or if he's talking about him as the murder mystery guest. Because I thought even as a murder mystery guest, he was still very restrained as Shatner there.
Yeah, I don't know if he has it in him, like the full Shatnerism. I mean, he's a fine actor, but I keep missing that Shatnerism. I also like the little throwaway of them just mothballing the holodeck. And for me, in my headcanon,
I have some headcanon too.
It's
Go
like
on.
justifies why they eventually everything's smaller in TOS because they just have to cram in much bigger power systems into the Enterprise, so all the hallways and all the rooms have to be smaller because there's like 200% more power relays going through the entire ship.
I love the fact that Pike, after having all his issues with the Telosians, with their illusions in the cage, that he heard one thing about the holodeck and went, no, fuck that. No, we're not having any of this illusion shit on my ship. Like, no, get it off. And like, first instance, he's like, scrap it, get it off, we're done. Give it 100 years when I'm done.
That and right, and also he had the hologram issue with Control.
Oh yeah,
in Discovery season, like anything having to do with holograms, I would imagine Pike is just like, no. I had to send my good friends 3,000 years in the future. No.
I think my highlight of that entire episode, and it's a really tiny thing, is near the end after La'an figures out that Spock is the bad guy. Anson Mount, as TK Bellows, flees the scene. He's got a drink in one hand, gun in the other, and he's running away, and he gives this very small, "Oh no," like from the background. And it's so good.
Mount is hilarious.
Yeah.
He's so good.
He needs to be in some sort of like 30 Rock series as like the Adam Baldwin character, or some sort of like he needs a comedy role in something like The Office. Definitely, I think.
Yes,
and it was nice to hear. It was nice to hear Frakes at the end.
Yeah,
that was like breaking
he
the fourth
invades
wall
another
inside
series.
the fourth wall.
Yeah, Frakes can't stay away.
Yeah, have
He'll
you
be
heard-
in Academy, I'm sure.
Mount talking about Frakes, like in faux disgust, he's like, and Frakes, he's such an actor. He just has to come in and like lean into you. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
How do you feel about
Have you heard much about? Because we've talked about Frakes as a director, but not necessarily drilled down into his style. Have you heard actors talking about how he directs them? Is that something that has been discussed much by other actors?
I mean, everything I've heard in all these Star Trek interviews is that because he was an actor, he understands what actors need on a set, and they're just glowing recommendations about him the whole time. But yeah, what was the next episode? Some sort of
Through the Lens of Time.
alien
Through the
mind
lens
control.
of time. So we haven't discussed that one yet. So if we can get a little more
We
detail.
can get granular now. So this was them finding the ruins on an ancient planet and going in with the local, and then getting trapped within the layers of time. Looking at things that could or could not be Par-Wraiths, don't know, left fairly ambiguous, the same way that Trelane and John Delancey were in the Trelane and John Delancey episode. It's a Q, but we're not going to say the Q word. But yeah, how did you feel about that episode? I need to look at Memory Apple to remind myself, because I feel like I'm missing the B plot on this one.
Well, so there were about
and there was-
18 plots running simultaneously in the first 10 minutes. You had 5 different romance plots. You had that alien ambassador observer come aboard, then they get inside the temple. The B plot basically was Mbenga and Gamble, where that little orb explodes, possesses Gamble.
That's right, yes.
He dies on the planet, and they give you little clues that that's the case, but you don't necessarily put it all together until the end. Another good anything with Mbenga, I'm like drooling over, so it was nice to see him. I liked one of my favorite parts is at the end where he calls home, to let the family know what's happened, which is I like that little bit of
quite
real
a
life.
chipper about it though. He's like, "Hi, Mum and Dad, just your chief doctor calling. By the way, your son had his eyes gouged out and he's dead. Nothing to worry about."
That's bedside manner, baby. That's
true. The whole Ensign Gamble thing was so shocking. I've not been shocked at a TV plot for a while like that, because generally you can kind of see things coming. You know where things are going. He got his eye burned out, and I was just like, "Oh, they'll just go up to the ship. He'll put the Geordie visor on," which I thought was like kind of like, "Oh, is that the genesis of the visor? Maybe no." And they'll regenerate his eyes, and then he'll go on his merry way.
Look, just because it's Black Idol doesn't mean it's the same visor. You racist.
Thank you. Always showing me up in front of the Asian guy. Okay, no, no. So, So I thought
I'm Puerto Rican.
He's just playing an Asian man. Okay, he's a great actor.
So I thought, they were going to regenerate his eyes, and then they'd go, the plot, we can't regenerate his eyes. I thought, oh no, Mbeng will do some magic medical things with herbal remedies, and they'll work it out, or they'll filter the stuff out. No, turns out, by the way, spoilers. There's your due time. If I was not expecting him to have been dead all along. And I thought the actor was brilliant. Like, the way he balanced between being the malevolent kind of creature behind, then switching to, oh, no, I'm Ensign Gamble, and then sort of switching between them and having a menacing aura at the same time. The way he, snapped the security guard's neck and stepped through the force field was just brilliant. And I'm so sad that he's gone, because I would have liked to have maybe
Or is he?
But maybe have a dual personality. But they could have reasoned with the creature inside him, and then maybe he could have been on the ship as a dual personality. That could have been a fun twist. He's a real
Burnham
guy.
move.
Yeah.
Well, they're kind of setting that up, I think, because of the opposition to the Gorn and Batel, and that I think they're probably kind of setting those breadcrumbs for future interactions.
Yeah, Plem and Batel just going full on like predator mode and just like out of nowhere.
That was great. that was you know what that was? That was what people wanted between Guinan and Q when she just did that like hand they wanted that like throwdown and we never got it.
Wow.
In
TNG. They should have had an
continuity.
El-Aurian and Wedding Bell Blues. They really should have just had one there, just gone like something's fucky, something's not right here.
Right.
Wait, so
we know this is like the Power Wraith version. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, please.
I was gonna say like this is the Gorn's version of the Power Wraith, whatever these creatures are, right? Like they recognize them instantly and they're like, oh, must kill, must destroy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where I started to feel like they were cribbing a lot of elements from other episodes, not to its detriment, but just little. What did I say? Like the Koinonians in that early TNG episode where they have all the different shifting rooms and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I wrote down like 3 or 4 different episodes that brought to mind where you feel like, oh, you get that essence of classic Trek without it being a 1-for-1 remake.
There's only so much Ray Bradbury and Harlan Ellison to go around.
Yeah.
Eventually they're going to have to reuse it. There's not that much original science fiction left anymore. Yeah.
So one thing that impressed me, the actor, I forget his name, Chris something, who played Dana Gamble, he was posting all over Reddit the week that episode came out about his experiences. One of the things he said was that when he walked through that force field, they gave him some kind of lore background reasoning that like, it pushes the body past its normal pain limits, and that's why he was able to do it. Like, because if he was alive, he wouldn't have felt it. And I just thought it was nice that they actually give that actors a little bit of extra to inform them for the scene. And that's all I got.
Yeah. It was great. No, it was very reminiscent of, and I don't think they took this because this episode would have been shot or being shot at the time, but did you both see Sinners?
No, I've not seen that.
No. I've seen
Sinners. I mean, I think you have a general idea of what Sinners is about at this point, but it's just the idea of like once your friend has been infected with this, they're gone.
Yeah.
Right? There's no hope. You're not getting Gamble back. Gamble's gone.
That was shocking.
Like, so yeah, there's a certain utter horror because it flies in the face of the typical trope of like we can get them back. We can save them somehow. And
I think
just
it's
like
the first time, like, because a lot of people go on about saying like, we need 26 episode seasons back, and I'm like, okay, no, but you won't do it this project. This is the first time I actually thought I would love to have 26 episode season back, because we could have had like 10 episodes of Benga and Gamble establishing a rapport, going through various things, and then kill Gamble off. And then that would have just been more heartbreaking, because I was really liking Gamble.
They already gave him.
They gave him a lot.
3 appearances?
Yeah.
It's already the upgraded red shirt. Like, they gave him way more than your typical red shirt. And then they punctuated that by giving you a classic red shirt, that idiot that walks up to the force field.
Yes.
Like, that made Gamble look even better. Yeah.
There were so many red shirts in this episode. It was great. Like, he held the one guy at gunpoint. It was such perfect referencing.
So, speaking of your Sinners tie-in, is that also then, is Batel dead woman walking? Like, in next season, is she going to be 9 foot tall, covered with scales? Is she already unrecognizable?
Is she the Gorn from Arena?
No, I think that would be stupid. But, no, I think this is what pulls Pike and Batel apart eventually, because he has to be single, right? by the end of this series.
Well, we've theorized that the illusion the Telosians will give him at the end is of Batel, not of Vina. But that's a little bit too fan fiction-y even for me.
No, they have to have some sort of star-crossed lover.
It's the 23rd century. People have very open minds these days. Imagine Batel knows about Vina. I imagine they've been close enough that where he's spoken about her before, so they could,
There's enough Pike to go around.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's poly vibes from Batel and
or
Pike.
Or she looked at him in the wheelchair and just went, I'm not sure how we can make this work. I'm gonna go back to my ship now.
No, that's not the reason. Patel would completely make that
I know
work.
that.
Patel, you know, one little thing I liked. Did you notice that Ortega's hair was completely flattened out?
Yeah.
After this episode,
Awful.
after her dressing down by Una, like the lower her character is, the lower Ortega's
Responds to
hair
her
is
self-esteem.
on her head.
Well,
yeah, exactly. And then the next episode's a little higher, which we'll get to. But
it could be that. It could also be that they had a zero grav scene, so all the women had hair plastered to their heads so that they didn't have to animate the hair. But it could also be her character going higher or lower.
I'm telling you.
The amount of shit people are giving Una online for having a different hairstyle is ridiculous. The fucking
What? Are they?
Seriously, people
Oh,
are
yeah.
just like, I fucking hate that haircut. Why have they done that to her? I'm like, she just braided her hair back. What the fuck? Like, there's a
Have they never seen Star Trek before?
Yeah, but it's and you know, a lot of people, you know, behind the scenes it makes sense because they're doing a zero G scene and they don't want to bother faffing about with the hair. Makes sense. But I'm not going to put that as a critical plot point. Like, I'm not going to suddenly get offended because Una changed her hairstyle. I was psyched. I mean, Auto knows, like, one of my favourite things is any time that Una is in a command situation, I get very hyped up because I need to see her in command. She's an awesome first officer. And then people are just like, no, but her hair was shit. I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah, just a fast forwarding commentary on the next episode on the Farragut. What's with the communication science officer's hair? It's just in her face the entire time. It's the least functional haircut you could possibly have on the bridge. Anyway, going back to
that was to highlight Kirk's sloppy command style, that he would allow that on his bridge.
Yeah,
that's right.
He doesn't allow bigotry, but any kind of hair is fine.
All right, so as we wrap up episode 5, yes, the Ortega storyline, she gets dressed down at the end of 4, which I forgot to touch on. And we got the phrase chain of command training, which I'm like, oh, yes, give me some classic Trek, this is the fucking
rotation.
Navy. It's not friends in space.
Give me some black turtlenecks.
All right, but here's another fan theory I heard. What's his name? Corby. Dr. Corby is already an android.
Ooh,
and that's why he wasn't affected by Trelane. That's why he's as a dick to everyone in the episode. I thought that could have legs.
Yeah, I could see that. But he needs his assistant first, doesn't he? Because his assistant is also an android? Or
Ruck,
was?
Andrea, and Brown are all they're all androids on the planet. Yeah, but anyway, I just thought that was a neat little.
I kind of hope we get him like at the end of like episode 10 there's like the after credit scene and you just see him assembling like Andrea's outfit and just going yes.
I don't know about that one.
All right, let's move on.
Although, fun fact, in What Little Girls Are Made Of, Gene Roddenberry wasn't allowed to show belly buttons, so they did this crisscross pattern on Andrea's uniform, and in response, when he did Genesis 2, whatever that movie was, he put the lead and gave her 2 belly buttons just to fuck with the sponsors because they wouldn't let him show belly button. Yeah,
I think we need to go for the classic.
That is a good movie.
I actually have wanted to watch the Questa tapes at some point. I feel there's a lot of Phase 2 inspiration in there. But okay.
Wait, are we not going to talk about? Wait, hold on. We're not going to talk about La'ak or Spallan. What is their ship name?
The what?
What?
La'an.
The relationship between La'an and Spock.
Yes. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I think they have pretty good chemistry.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
I don't.
The dancing helps.
Yeah, the dancing did help. The fact that La'an's
This
come
is
out
a
of her
cheat,
shell.
really.
Out at the start of episode 3, and she's like, yes, I'm taking dancing lessons now. I'm not quite as repressed anymore. I've overcome a lot of my stuff with the Gorn. And by the way, Vulcans, yeah, let's get into that. And she's just gonna eventually, when Bones gets introduced, she's gonna take him for dancing lessons, and then she'll have worked her way through the entire TOS roster. But no, okay, just me, fine. But no, I actually do. I liked the dialogue that they had at the end of the episode. It was like, as they're dancing, they're talking. And if you go look at an interview from Christina Chong and Ethan Peck, they talk about that style of dance, and I forget the name of it, but apparently it's really incredibly hard to do. It's like a really incredibly hard style of tango. And the fact that they're actually doing dialogue whilst also doing this tango. A lot of people in the dance community are just like, that's amazing. How are they doing that? That's really good.
It was almost distracting at a point, though, where it's like they're breathing heavy from dancing and then they're getting the lines in him. But
I did like.
I was going to say Telosian illusion of a dance named tango. But that's pretty esoteric.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Meta. Wow. I think
we've been around longer than Strange New Worlds. We've done, what, 6 years of this?
Yeah,
we have our own canon now.
We do. I wish it was recognised more with the wiki. Through the lens of time, though, they do sort of like, they have a very mature conversation with Chapel as well, because they kind of get that out of the way, and like, so you and Spock are like, oh, we don't want to put labels on it, and like, you know, they talk about it quite earnestly, and it's a bit like, yeah, you've got Corby, I've got Spock, let's just not make it weird now. And I thought that was kind of refreshing. Whether they'll touch on that again, I don't know, because I think we've all said there's got to be something that happens with Spock to turn him into Nimoy.
So Ethan Peck said in an interview that you will see, as the series draws near the end, we will see more of Nimoy's Spock, and hopefully they'll kind of try to meld it seamlessly. So I'm thinking La'an is going to be some catalyst. Her death or her whatever is going to help purge him of all these emotions he's feeling. He'll become more like Nimoy Spock. So
yeah, because you know the Kolinar is just the final purging of emotions, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some Vulcan process along those ways where you're like slowly
every
purging
7
yourself
years they purge repeatedly. Yeah.
Yeah, because even the Kolinar, he failed because of Vija as well, so he's never really kind of got out of that. I you know, for everyone that says...
And speaking of Vija,
yeah, there we go. Okay, good segue. Let's go into the Salat Who Ate Its Tail, a classic TOS episode.
All right, give Shy the floor. I want to hear
Go for
about
it.
Paul Wesley. Shy, tell me about him as...
Oh, there's a couple things. You know, again, I think Paul Wesley is very charming and a very fine actor. He's 43, right? And I think he kind of looks late 30s, early 40s. And Kirk was supposed to be the youngest.
In
story, he's supposed to be 20 at this point.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in his 20s here, and it's just not. It's not reading for me, especially since. You know, James Doohan was 11 years older than Shatner, and this guy looks like he's a teenager next to Paul Wesley. And you know, likewise, Ethan Peck looks way younger than Paul Wesley, and it's becoming distracting for me. But aside from that, I just don't. This feels like a step backwards for the character. Uhura even says in the episode. Oh, I've been with him in this situation. He was great. He's just forgotten who he is. We need to remind him. It's like, but why didn't we just have this episode be him who he is and sort of recreating that scene with everyone? Show us the, you know, and that's not Wesley's fault. That's a fault of the writing. Much the same as the name of the ship being Asolik. I don't know who wrote that name for the frigging. Also, they were like, "Oh, Fantastic Four's coming out in the summer. Let's just make a Galactus ship, but call it Asolik."
Yeah, I was a bit like
metal skull with green flames. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
what is going
I was
on?
a bit like that. I have some things I'll talk about that later, but yeah, carry on, Shy. I'm just looking up some notes I found earlier, but yeah, I imagine you've got more to say about Wesley's Kirk.
Yeah, like he, you know, the whole episode is just sort of just reminding you that he's not William Shatner. Like I'm a big backer of Shatner's acting, especially quiet acting. We never get that's not true. We have gotten quiet Kirk from Wesley. He does it well, but they didn't give it to us in this episode. Once again, that's not Wesley's fault, but they didn't give it to us, especially in the chess scene. I wanted like a little bit more of like quiet rumination between him and Spock, and we didn't get that. It was close. It was very close, but we didn't get that. What else?
So, well, we get back-to-back dick moments from him. First, when he's kind of the cocky, like, I'm right, I'll collect my receipts now. And then when it goes wrong, he's like, fuck you guys, I'm taking my ball and going home. And I'm watching these scenes and I'm thinking, you know, if
Trying to make this.
I'm like, Shatner was a dick when the cameras were not rolling.
Hmm.
But when the cameras were rolling, he was never that way to his shipmates, and I feel like they kind of got their wires crossed on that one.
So his not to step on anyone's toes here, but like it's kind of felt like he was very immature for a first officer. Which, okay, yes, he's young or supposed to be young, but you don't get put into the position of first officer, especially with a very stern Vulcan by the books captain, without having a bit of experience. And Paul Wesley's Kirk up to this point, you know, from Return Tomorrow. No, the one where they went back with La'an.
Return to
Tomorrow.
Return to Tomorrow's the TOS one.
Is it
Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Morgan.
Yeah, with that episode and the one with him and Uhura, it always felt like he was competent, in command. And I'm thinking like, okay, cool, this is the Kirk that knows his shit. He knows what he's doing. This episode made me feel like
he's going backwards.
Yeah, he went so backwards. He was immature from the start. Like he was on the bridge. He went, "I'm bored." I'm like, that sounds like my child.
God,
that's my child. Like just like, no, you're a first officer. You've got shit to do. You can't be, you know, okay, it's routine maintenance, but you can't establish Kirk as being even Kirk and TOS wasn't looking for danger. They just happened to come across these situations where his command style and the crew he was with helped them solve the situations. For him to get very stressed out and storm off in a huff, being the first officer, you wouldn't see Riker do that, unless you're dealing with Jellicoe. That's a different thing. You wouldn't see Chakotay doing that. You wouldn't see Una doing that. They were very competent first officers, good at their job. You know, you look at Chakotay in when he's dealing with the Marquis, dealing with his own people, being the first officer right from the get-go. You'd see Riker just being the good administrator across the board and just being everyone's friend. You see Una, especially in the last episode with Ortegas, being very direct. She knows what she's doing. Those are competent first officers. To be a first officer on a ship, you've got to have your shit. You've not got to be the one that goes like, oh shit, things have gone wrong. I don't know how to solve this. People can't tell me what to do. I'm going to go into the other room and just sulk for a bit. Not only does that not say first officer, that doesn't say Kirk to me. And that's...
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, you don't envision this Kirk, this Commander Kirk, playing chess with his captain. No, she's like sending him to watch Chain of Command,
a
like
Vulcan
module
captain,
videos.
by the way, which I'm sure would be even less lenient to emotional outbursts than a human captain.
Yeah.
What was going on with her hair?
A lot of fans thought she was a very sexy Vulcan. I did read a lot of that, so we got a lot of thirsty fans, I guess.
Yeah,
shocking.
Kirk was. You're right. You're right. You know, we say he went backwards. He definitely went backwards here. The writing did not suit him. This is if we were going for the rating for the episode, this would be the big thing that like dropped it a lot for me. And the fact you've got Uhura, who I love Uhura in Strange New Worlds. I love that she's very competent. I love they've fleshed out her character. But she's the voice of and I'm taking into the fact that in TOS she will be his subordinate, and she will be, looking to him for advice and things like that. She will be, although Nichelle Nichols Uhura didn't get that much fleshed out, I can only imagine that she would still be learning and should be learning from the role model above her. The fact she's here giving advice to him, Spock I can see, Spock makes sense, but like Scotty and Uhura being the ones to be the voices of reason to Kirk didn't sit right for me. I love that Uhura, Celia Gooding's Uhura got a moment to show her empathetic side and be that person to be the better, the right side of the debate, but it doesn't fit with the overall thing as a Star Trek fan and sorry, go on.
As a quick aside, I don't think I've had notes for Celia the entire show's run. I think she might be the only one where I'm like, okay, you have nailed in every possible way Uhura as a younger character, so good on her. You guys remember the TOS episode Obsession with the big cloud that...
I love that episode.
That's
a good episode.
Guys, they stand there with their phaser guns. They're like, he's coming closer, Captain. Fire. He's coming closer. Just fire your phaser. Anyway, Kirk, many years earlier, met that cloud. I think it was in space because he was a phaser gunner. He failed to fire his weapon and 200 crewmates died. And he's been thinking about it ever since, to the point that they named the episode Obsession, because he's obsessed with his failure at that moment to protect his crewmates. Now, that happened 4 years before the Salat Who Ate Its Tail, and we're led to believe that even though he's been ruminating about that giant failure of his, that he's like, no, this is bored. Let's just ignore our directives and rules, and we'll just beam down and have a little fun. I'm like,
which is
yeah,
weird.
you don't understand.
Yeah.
This is not '09 Chris Pine's Kirk. This is actual Kirk.
It was weird he'd stay on the Farragut after all of that time. This is the same Farragut as that Farragut is, because I know in Starships have the thing. This was the disaster that happened 4 years previous that he was posted to, and he wasn't the first officer, was he, at that point? Because he
was, I think, lieutenant.
Yeah, so he
at that point.
He was young. Yeah, you're right. You know, it's
like he's suffered loss on a big scale before. He should be a little seasoned, a little wiser. I mean, even at that young age, that's why he's captain so young, is because he does have that seasoning, and they just kind of don't give it to him. I think the whole reason for all that is so that he can, his Enterprise crewmates can be the ones to lift him up and help teach him the lesson. And that's a fine, like, Sunday school moral of the episode kind of thing. But it just doesn't, they try to cram all that into one episode with other things going on, and wasn't feeling it. That being said, I thought the Doomsday Machine poll was pretty fucking cool.
Can we just one thing before we go on to that? Was the one thing I did like about the Kirk part of this episode was his and Pike's conversation at the end, where Pike was mentoring him. Like,
you like that?
I kind of did.
You like that? You like that? I mean, yeah, but it's just like, oh, really? It's two white guys talking about how sad they are about the genocide they just committed.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, they're so noble because they feel really bad about having killed off 7,000 people. And the whole time, just like Burnham would have fucking found an answer and like brought those guys back and like reintegrated them into. Yeah, that was there was a lot of derivative stuff in this episode.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
so
like even down to the Battlestar Galactica hardwired phones. I was like, come on, guys.
Yes.
This is your fix
was
to this.
I did like the runner. When all the communications are done, they send a runner. Like that's proper naval old school.
That wasn't there. There was
with Nog where he's relaying everything down to the engineering, and that was a bit of fun, but the phones were like, bro.
I didn't mind that. I know you're not as keen on Pelia, but I liked his like, I've got this ancient cache of like strange things, and she brings out all these phones and
I like Pelia.
I kind of like that. I didn't mind that. That was cool.
I liked her room.
Yeah.
I like Mbenga's reaction to her room. This room's exactly,
like, this looks exactly
how I thought
like
it was going to be.
I have some things to say about the villain of this episode, but I want you guys to go first.
You mean the V'ger rehash?
Asalik?
Kind of. Yes.
Asalik.
It's right in the captions. I'm not even like exaggerating the spelling.
I know. I think it was ASSA lick instead of ASO-lick, but we're splitting dingleberries at this point.
ASSASLIC. Assassilic.
This was even stupider than sorry, Idle. Even stupider than the first V'ger.
I'm with.
You're telling me that scientists with like a fucking chemical rocket, after 150 years floating through space, have come up with this super mega ship that can absorb the Enterprise. It's dressed like a fucking metal death skull with green flames coming out of it. No part of that made sense. And the fact that they just shoehorned it into the last like 8 minutes of the episode.
Yeah.
The only point of them being humans was so that they could have that Pike and Kirk talk at the end and be like, oh, well, I'm sure you did your best. But that's so unrealistic. And I'm, say that as knowing sci-fi can be pretty unrealistic at times.
Okay, so yeah, it was shit.
Let us have it.
Yeah. So, it looks like it's from the lower decks. It's like a lower decks design, the ship.
It's the Packland mothership, isn't it, essentially?
It's Ransom's giant power head floating in space.
Which was more believable than this, believe it or not. Like I love Ransom's giant head. I thought that was hilarious. Okay, so let's go from a timeline perspective on this. You know me, I'm a massive lore and timeline kind of person. I like to everything to fit in this place. So they said that these guys left Earth just after World War III because they were afraid of the climate. And yes, climate change is a big thing, but leaving your planet when it's just been nuked to oblivion seems kind of like a bit of a dick move, but okay, fine. The fact that their rocket, because you get a brief shot, had the Starfleet logo on it was like, well, hang on, no, Starfleet hasn't been invented yet. That's not invented for much later.
Yeah, that was weird.
I was like, right, okay, that's wrong for a start. The fact that these are all very much established scientists who, in the space of, okay, they've set themselves up a generational ship and they've gone off on their way. In 200 years, they've turned feral. Like, they've gone very... Like, they've turned into Volus, as Otto said. They've got themselves some big chunky spaceships and some pretty good technology. And they thought, hey, you know what would be cool? We put a big flaming skull on the front of our starship and it eats starships. Yeah, that'll be cool. But actually, we can't, give ourselves proper living quarters. Like, what the fuck? This isn't even a Terra Nova situation where the guys had some planet radiation that warped their brain so much that all they could think about was shale. This is a situation where, like, these guys completely regressed into aggressive scavengers, despite them being like the cream of the crop, and the arse pull of them saying like, oh, by the way, there's all these fucking legends about this random ship that's been flying through space, just taking everything out of
I forgot about that. They go around, they give everyone on the bridge a line about a different culture that has a legend about this ship.
But Pike's not heard of it, no. Or the actual people in command.
Yeah, it's just it's the Reavers from Firefly.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same twist as they had in Discovery. Like, these invaders from Space Invaders are actually humans that were on Titan. They're actually humans. They're us.
They walk around like the freaking Big Daddy from BioShock, or like the Malons, or they're very clunky, despite the fact they're humans inside a suit. They don't need a suit.
Well, Stars
they don't
posted
need
like
a
an
suit
episode
because
of
they're on
Twilight
the
Zone or something.
Enterprise.
Yeah, that's why you mentioned Twilight Zone. Yeah, exactly. It's
they do. The Invaders, that episode. Spoiler alert for this like 70-year-old show. These tiny little aliens come aboard and they wear in the giant clunky Michelin Man suits like that. And the woman tries to swat them out of existence, and then at the end they reveal, oh, they're actually humans all along.
Yeah,
I think they might have pulled that.
It's the word. I was kind of hoping they would be, and I was saying to you earlier, Otto, like Silent Enemy from Enterprise. The one where they have the random alien ship attacks Enterprise, and they don't know who they are. They're really struggling. It's a really alien thing. They see them. They're these giant glowing head or transparent head creatures that are just completely unknowable. They warp away. They've done some damage, and they don't know who they are. I love that because it's an unknown. The fact they had these giant creatures and they just kind of went, but they're human all along. I'm like, guys, Planet of the Apes did this so many years ago. Like, this isn't new. This is probably my least favourite Strange... It hurts me to say this because I love Strange New Worlds, but this is a bad episode of Strange New Worlds. And it was wild because I've looked on the subreddits and read the discussions, and I'm, guys, what are you smoking? This wasn't good.
Everyone loves it. Almost everyone says it's a great episode. I'm like,
is it me that's wrong? No, it's the children.
I mean, we were talking about how high a standard the effects have. Like the shot of the planet like exploding at the beginning was great. Like that.
Oh my god, that shot was so beautiful. Enterprise warps in, it drifts into position, protecting the Farragut with as much surface area as it can. You have the blue of the shields against the red of the planet breaking up.
Oh, that's not how TO shields work.
Okay, but it's beautiful regardless. The Farragut sails are blinking. It's like, bro, that shot was almost worth the 16 episodes less a season that we get because it was really impressive.
The other thing is, I can't help but think that my ship is falling apart around me. Literally, I can't go to warp, and I'm just going to have a mood. I'm just going to go and just be a bit shitty. And by the way, the deflector fell off. It doesn't matter. Scotty's got it. Yeah.
I did like, so this is my favorite of Strange New World, Scotty, because he had a little fire in his belly. Yeah. He stands up to Kirk, and it happens to be about his engines, which we all know are his babies. So I really liked, I think this is the best Scotty we've gotten so far.
Yeah, but once again, this contradicts how does this evolve into the relationship between Kirk and Scotty, where Kirk will like knows Scotty's limits and is like, no, you can do this, and Scotty does
I
it.
think that's
Like
kind
here
of implied.
with this lesson,
Yeah,
Scotty's like, no, I'm never going to trust this guy again because he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like that's where this establishes.
I did like the one thing. It's like if it wasn't Kirk, if Paul Wesley was playing a different commander, I'd be more accepting because there was a good scene where like he says to Scotty, "I need to push it." And Scotty goes, "No, I can't fucking do it. I'm not a miracle worker. In this case, I'm not." And it does go wrong, and Paul Wesley's Kirk does have to deal with the circumstances. In any other commander, that would be cool. Like, oh, he's learning and he's learning to work with his crew, and but it's Kirk. It's a different it's an entirely different ball game with the legacy of Kirk because he has to establish like we understand Scott is a miracle worker, and that's the way I think the writers kind of. I don't know whether they're playing with like, have these people watched this show before, or do they know the bloody 900 episode legacy of all of Star Trek, where everyone goes like, Scotty's a miracle worker, and all the fandom behind it, and it kind of falls over in his face, and you kind of go like, oh well, no, he didn't learn that lesson yet. It just doesn't feel. I don't know. I can't quite put it into words.
I think there are lots of times where, and I'm not saying this particular show, but lots of times where showrunners want the big greenlit budget that comes from legacy franchises without being tied to all the previous episodes, which I can understand as a writer and a director. You want to do something fresh, you want to put your stamp on something, but if you're going to sign up for something that has this much legend and lore behind it, you have to respect it to a high degree.
Yeah.
Are we done talking about it?
I think we are. I think we've wrapped it up. Any final words, Shy?
I have a strange New Worlds thought that I wanted to ask you guys about. But please,
I don't know. What else did I write down? Oh, yeah, Ortega's hair is slightly better now, bigger now. And like, what's the one tentacle? The whole ship is wrapped in tentacles, but there's only one tentacle sticking into the ship.
Well,
come on,
one important
one. Come on, guys.
I did like Pike was just like, she goes like, that could explode. He says, take a step back. And she's like, that could explode the ship. And he's like, a really big step back? I was like, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, and you mentioned this earlier, like the whole like I'm bored at the top of the episode. Like that's from Star Trek Beyond. That's how Star Trek Beyond starts.
It's Wrath of
like,
Khan, essentially. Like it's almost a little bit like they're advancing Kirk to beyond where he should be. The problem is like you've got two phases of bored in your life. You've got bored because you're immature, like my children are whenever I say like we're gonna go do this and I'm bored. Or there's like you've reached like the end of your career, you don't know, you kind of I've done everything I want to in my life, I need to find something new, I'm bored. Paul Wesley's Kirk kind of fits neither of those at this stage of him.
Right. The thing is, we see with Shatner and Pine's Kirk, Chris Pine's Kirk. Everyone's talking about, oh, you have this 200 IQ, you're actually a genius, but you don't show it, right? Because you're a captain, you're self-assured. Here's a chance to show that. Like, show that Kirk is a freaking genius. Show them that like he knows what he's doing, and they're just not.
It would have been good for him to sort of say like, I'm learning a lot from Captain. I forget her name now. The captain of the Farragut. Like you know, I'm learning like and say like I'm taking her lessons and this like maybe she did something that would inform a future episode of TOS that you kind of go like, oh, that's where he got it from. Like that would have been better rather than him stomping around the bridge, just kind of going like. Nothing for me to do here apart from sensor scans. Oh gosh, like you know.
Yeah, she needs to be like Michelle Yeoh or Rachel Garrett, even like Rachel Garrett in Yesterday's Enterprise. You're immediately impressed with her as a captain with just like 5 minutes of screen time. And
I mean, there was that debate where they were saying like going into low orbit, and he was like, "No, we need to go into low orbit. We need to do this exciting, riskful stuff." And she's like, "We actually don't need to. It's fine." And she's kind of right. It's like they don't.
She's completely right.
They were trying to play him as a thrill seeker, which wasn't Kirk. Kirk is not a thrill seeker. No. He gets into thrilling situations, but he's not a thrill seeker.
Right, and picking a Vulcan for the captain is the worst possible choice for someone whose temperament would allow that. So,
but the other thing is, it kind of undermines a little bit of his relationship with Spock later, because a lot of stuff in TOS is him dealing with the weird Vulcan, you know, and him the friendship developing because he doesn't really know Vulcans, but now he's had a Vulcan captain, so he must have had some conversation with her about logic and how to deal with. This is The more we talk about it, the worse it gets.
I mean, maybe that's why he's amused by Spock so much, because he has dealt with Vulcans before. So
yes, I can tease this one. He's my subordinate. I'm not allowed to tease the captain.
Apparently, he never loses a game of 3D chess against Spock. Is that a bit of trivia I heard?
Yeah,
Is
I think
that
that's
right?
I think it's genuine.
Because he's had practice. Like that's what they're setting up here.
That's why they gave him a Vulcan captain, is so he could win at 3D chess more
Okay,
often.
all right, there's your link. I'll allow it.
Brilliant writing. All right, I wanted to ask you guys, because now that we're almost 3 seasons through the show, what do you think about in the 90s we used to say syndication. Now it's kind of, it's not the same as that. Netflix and other big entities, they will buy franchises based on the viewer hours they can get and bingeability. How bingeable is Strange New Worlds for you? Because we've talked a lot about the shift in tones from episode to episode. Do you think a person maybe new even to the franchise could sit down, watch them straight through the same way they can the very episodic classic track?
Go on, Shy.
We'll go back to like I rewatched Discovery multiple times. Not the last season, but those first 4 seasons I rewatched multiple times. But for me, the most bingeable Star Trek series was always TNG, and I think I've said this before. TNG, if you watch it, or more importantly, listen to it, is very much a radio play. There's not a lot of visual stuff that you need to advance the story. There's not like quiet, subtle visual cues happening that advance the story. So you can just have TNG on in the background playing and like follow along. Like you can clean, you can do other work and have it on there as like a comfort rewatch. Some of Strange New Worlds is like that, but there's so many visual gags, especially Anson Mount just mugging to the camera, that you'll miss. Like if you don't see Anson Mount like turning around with his tray of Vulcan food when he sees like Spock fighting his future parents, then you miss half the joy of the episode. So I think it does have a lot of rewatchability though. But
Strange New Worlds especially, yeah. I think there is I think there's a difference between binge and episodic. I think Discovery is more a bingeable show because, and I relate to things like Battlestar Galactica, because if you think yourself like, okay, I've got myself an entire day to myself, I'm going to binge this series, and you want something that's going to be serialized shows work better for that because you more will likely want to go right next episode. Strange New Worlds is in that TNG camper where I can go like random episode go, and like TNG, Voyager, DS9 less so, or TOS, and I think Strange New Worlds fits nicely in that, in which you can just like say essentially just go random episode. I'm just going to watch something and go like, yeah, I'll just go watch Ad Astra. Oh, that's the wrong example. Sorry, something like Among the Lotus Eaters, and say like, right, I'm going to watch a good hour of entertainment about some science fiction concept with a good Starfleet crew. I've always loved like Strange New Worlds has gone back to that approach with a little bit of serialization. Admittedly, season 3 has actually had a bit more serialization. Can't say that properly. Serialization than previous series, but
is that non-alcoholic wine kicking in?
No, this is the very alcoholic Corte Aurelo Grillo, which I picked entirely for the design on the front.
Flawless pronunciation.
But yes, no, I think Strange New Worlds is definitely an episode you can introduce to. Sorry, it's a series you can introduce to someone else out of the blue. If you were to play someone, Children of the Comet, for example, that would be a good, like, one-off, here's this crew going and dealing with some Strange New Worlds-esque situation, and they're a competent crew, and it's a decent hour of your life.
One of the issues I think that might crop up is certain episodes, they'll do a full 50 minutes, like at Red Alert. Like the season 1 Gorn fight episode comes to mind. Hegemony Part 2 at the start of season 3, where like everything is, they have a lot more music than a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
Like sometimes during dialogue, they'll cut the music from classic Trek and just people talk. A lot of music, a lot of dark lighting, a lot of high intensity. And I feel like that you're binging it a little while, you might sort of feel like, all right, I need a little break. Where you don't necessarily get that from TNG, especially because it's so bottled up from episode to episode. I don't know. I just feel like the pacing might hurt
I think that's kind of
the bingeability.
It's endemic of modern television of the last 10 years. Essentially, is budgets have got bigger, storylines have got smaller. essentially. There was definitely a play for the extravagant over the more sort of mundane conversation. You know, I've said this many, many times, and you guys are probably sick of me saying this, but I love episodes, and I like books as well. Foundation is one of my favourite books, because most of the book is just two guys talking in a room. And I always loved 12 Angry Men. 12 Angry Men, the original 1956-7, I forget which year, is 12 guys just talking in a room, and it is compelling. And TNG, when it is Jean-Luc Picard or Riker or someone, they're talking about a high-concept situation, or especially Picard and Data talking about something, especially that goes over the concept of humanity and what it means to an android, is very compelling. That kind of stuff is amazing. That is kind of lost on modern television more than anything else, because the budgets have got bigger. Then go, we can do more effects now. We can do more drama. We can do more serialized things. We can pull these effects together, and we can make something with these amazing sets that looks good. I feel like that's great, and Strange New Worlds has been really good for that. Same with Discovery and everything else, and even some of the Star Wars stuff as well. But you look at something like Andor, and while Andor has been amazingly received because they've taken the art of the dialogue and the art of the storyline being informed by the dialogue to another degree. And that's the kind of thing I miss in Strange New Worlds, and I miss in a lot of these modern series that are only 10 episodes long, because they're 10 episodes, because they're focused on the serialization, which, again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It is definitely a style of the last 10 years that we have had in television. I feel like you don't kind of get those compelling narrative scenes that I like as much, which is why when I say at the end of... I
was going to bring that up, yeah.
At the end of, with the Kirk and Pike, the moment when they're having the talk together, okay, it's a shitty topic, yeah, they turn around and go, by the way, you killed 7,000 people, whatever, move on. It was still compelling because they were talking about something emotional, which again is a different context to what people would say before. Anyway, carry on.
I mean, it's a difference
that's a good scene.
It's a difference between watching a character grow and then watching like humanity grow. A lot of the classic Trek storylines are about how does this affect all of us, not necessarily how does this affect these characters, which, you know, it's apples to oranges. Some people like one or the other, but...
You guys should read Foundation. It's a great book. And watch the TV show.
I love Foundation.
Have you watched the...
I've read Foundation. I haven't watched any of this season. The first season was like, because it strayed from the book so much, I was having trouble getting into it. I hear it's back to the
yeah. They've really brought it back to the books. It's wild how they've done it as well, complete with third Selden Crisis going as predicted, or as not predicted.
It's like Apple was like, oh look, we bought the rights to this book, maybe we should use it.
Yes. Actually, I have to shout at Apple for making some amazing science fiction and like really putting their money where their mouth is. Like, they've been really good for... Kind of gives me the old Sci-Fi Channel vibes. Like, if you remember some of the stuff they were putting on there, like Primeval and... I can't remember any other series that was on.
It's impressive how hard Apple is going into sci-fi. I love it. I love the genre, but...
There's some really good stuff on there.
Shy, when are we going to review Battle Beyond the Stars?
Anytime you want.
Yeah, okay.
But here's the thing:
we've got that on record.
You have to do like You have to do a full watch of like Seven Samurai, and then Magnificent Seven, and then watch Battle Beyond the Stars. At the very least, you have to watch Magnificent Seven and then Battle Beyond the Stars, because Robert Vaughn is doing his exact character from Magnificent Seven in Battle Beyond the Stars.
How much time do you have free? Because that's a tall ask. Or is that home? We have to do our homework ahead of time before we show up for Battle Beyond.
You do your homework ahead of time.
It's quite interesting because you guys have actually got the same kind of background room decorations, because I kind of wonder if you're just sitting next to each other.
No, not exactly.
Nearly. The color grading's off slightly, but okay. Anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry you don't have your Twitch vlogger like LED lights in your room.
Your e-girl hot tub streamer aesthetic going on.
Got my gamer chair. By the way, buy some NordVPN. You can use the code Trek.
Yeah, wear your cat ears headphones.
Oh, do you know what? I've got a new trigger and I haven't even used it once, but I should really. Evidence. Anyway, I should have used that much more time. Should we talk about some admirals?
Well, hold on before we go there. I do have to say, because Shai, you said in TNG you won't necessarily miss some of the little visual aspects.
All right, go on.
And it just made me think of Picard after he calls him Mr. Broccoli. The look on his face, he's like, "Oh fuck!" Like, no, if they would have given Patrick Stewart the amount of buggy moments that Anson Mount has got, he would knock it out of the park.
No, look, of course you have to have Picard's looks of shock and more like outrage at people not fulfilling their duty or living up to their potential.
Him and Emissary, where Sisko says we met in Battle at Wolf 359, and he looks like he just soiled his diaper. Like that was a good.
That's right. That's a good episode, but that's on Deep Space Nine.
Yes, well, Patrick Stewart is eternal.
We met in battle. I was reading a comment the other day about this. It's like, guys, that wasn't Locutus. I mean, that was Locutus. That wasn't Picard. Just like shaming a rape victim. I'm just like, oh my god, like, Jesus Christ, that's terrible. Like, what's wrong with you? Why would you write that? Oh.
That's something to think about. Anyways,
yeah,
where were we going?
I don't know, but I have to. Hang on. I need
you guys vamp for like 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay.
My God, what have I done?
Now, we can't go too far ahead, because I think the First Admiral and Kirk, and certainly Shai, is going to have something to talk
about.
Okay,
let's flick over to Jean. Now I've completely cancelled the stream.
Mr. Broccoli.
Mr. Broccoli. Nobody has fun anymore and idle derails a podcast. I mean, that's the history of everything, really, isn't it?
Walker.
For God's sake.
Walker.
But for God's sake. We got a third Walker. I forgot.
I need a third Walker. I need to find it. You must say Walker again.
No. You have two Walkers there, and then there's a For God's sake.
Oh yeah.
Walker.
Do I not have For God's sake Walker?
For God's sake Walker.
Hang on. I need to hang on. Where's my triggers? Stupid Windows searching.
I think we need a hang on counter in the corner of the screen, because surely you've done more than I have.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Actually, you're quite the hanger-oner.
So,
Walker.
I'm so unused to that look, Shai, that you walked into the room. I'm like, oh, he's gone and put on a mustache and come back. And then I'm like, oh, I
think I got rid of the For God's sake Walker. Why did Oh, no, here it is.
Okay, come on.
Oh, for God's sake, Walker.
There it is. Okay, Admirals. We are tiering from S to D. The Admirals of Star Trek. Otto, do you want to take us away?
This is going to be pretty loose criteria for this session. So I'm just going to say however much you like this Admiral. So that could be how well you think they do the job, or just how much you like the character or whatever. We're going to go S, A, B, C, D. And we're going to kick it off, since Shai's here, with Admiral James T. Kirk.
You have the floor.
It was the best of Admirals. It was the worst of Admirals.
Admiral.
There he goes.
No, wait. Are we ranking how good of an admiral?
Now, just how much you like the character, them as admiral. Like, so if their role is to be hateable and they're a really hateable admiral, then that would be good. That would be an S tier. Like.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. Then I'll give him an. Well, this is.
Oh, I love the dilemma. The taste torn.
Well, because if it's how well he's fulfilling his like role as admiral in the storytelling, then he's an S tier.
Well, it's how much you like. It could be open to interpretation. Because some people are going to say he was a much better captain, and he wanted to get demoted to get back in the big chair, so he wasn't a great admiral. You could take it that way if you wanted.
Was Kirk
I'll give him an A. You know why? He's an A because his admiralty in the motion picture is kind of iffy, but he's so good as admiral in Wrath of Khan, so I'll give him an A.
Sorry, do you need me to share my screen with this one? Hang on.
No.
I was looking for the Twitch stream.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
That too. I mean, if you share, that'd be easier, but
I'll do that. I might have to adjust the thingy. But so, what I will say about Kirk as Admiral, was he ever really an Admiral? In his heart, right? Because he always wanted to be the captain, essentially in the Wrath of Khan, and, you know, storyline-wise, he was a captain because he was captaining a starship. We never saw him as an admiral making the big decisions, being behind a desk, being the adversary. We always saw him as a captain because that's what Kirk was.
Well, I mean, he's teaching cadets at the beginning of Wrath. So not every admiral is going to be a pencil pusher.
Well, the best time I ever saw him as an admiral, funnily enough, was probably in the Undiscovered Country when he was leading diplomatic talks with the Klingons. That was much more an Admiral Kirk than.
No, he's not. But he's a captain there.
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly. But that's like in terms of being an admiral, and in admiral status, he's not the one on Starfleet campus telling Sisko that he needs to get Red Squad to do things. You know. He's not directing other captains. He's not being a leader of a fleet. He's essentially on the Enterprise. I mean, okay, search for Spock and voyage home, you could probably wave away because they're in a different situation. But say, like Wrath of Khan, okay, he's visiting a ship, but he ends up being a captain quick enough.
So I think his floor is A tier for one reason. If you go back and look at TOS admirals, they all kind of suck. They have a few lines on comm where they're like, well, make sure you follow the rules, but we trust you to make the right decision, that kind of stuff. He kind of set the tone for TNG and everything that came after as to what an admiral should be doing with their time other than like calling starships. And I think, you know, him kind of laying the groundwork is a big point in his favor. I think I go A as well. He's better suited to be captain, so you can't put him in S. But I think he does pretty well as an admiral.
Yeah.
But he's doing weariness as an admiral so well, though. Like, he just hates it. You can see it.
He's
I am tired.
All right.
Good old Kodos. Up next, Admiral Alonzo Freeman from Lower Decks.
I mean, let's not talk about his parenting skills at this point.
No, that's separate from his admiralty.
Yeah. I don't mind him. I don't think we see enough of him to see his command style, but he's very... I mean, he lays sort of like the hammer down a couple of times maybe, but he's okay. I don't know enough about him to give him a rating other than maybe B, which is kind of middle of the road. I know
he's a C for me. What is his conflict of interest? Why is he giving orders to his wife? This is a clear conflict. He should not have any sort of operational oversight over Captain Freeman's goings on whatsoever.
Well, you're right. It is a complete conflict of interest. His daughter is a wildly irrational ensign that's causing trouble all over the quadrant, and his wife, is enabling this behavior at the best of times, and he can't seem to sort of just kick her out of Starfleet. But then, there's
A quote comes to mind, and cover your children's ears. I want to tell you something, and listen up, because I really mean this. You're the luckiest man in the world. There's nothing on this earth sexier, believe me, gentlemen, than a woman you have to salute in the morning. Promote them all, I say, because this is true. If you haven't gotten a from a superior officer, then you're just letting the best in life pass you by. That's whenever there's, relationships between the brass and the whatever. I always think about that line from Colonel Jessup.
Yeah, that's going to be in the Star Trek United. That's also a Sorkin script, so we're going to get a version of that monologue.
Are we saying C?
See, I don't remember this guy at all because the last couple of seasons are kind of a blur.
You don't have to agree with me.
Oh well, I will have to say
I don't
C.
feel
He's
anything.
not bad, but there's a big conflict of interest which all things end up okay, but his daughter's a renegade, and mother's enabling it. Who's this next one? I don't recognize her.
This is Rear Admiral Brand from The First Duty.
Oh, okay.
Where Wesley lies about his involvement in the Colvard starburst. Picard threatens to expose the whole thing. She doesn't have a huge role, but I think she's a pretty good. What's the word? You know, she's a steady Eddie through the whole thing.
Steady Eddie.
Isn't she the one that's like that questions him like so this is what you did, right? This is what you did? Well, we have this video here of you doing something else. Was that her that like presented that case?
She tells her Vulcan, the other Vulcan admiral, to do it, and he does it for her. But yeah, she does the setup, and then they.
Yeah, pure S tier for me. That's.
Oh wow, jumping her up there. I can't remember her, to be honest. I haven't seen The First Duty for a while. I more remember Nick Lucano and Wesley and Picard's conversations as well.
Yeah.
I don't remember her at all.
She's kind of like I don't know if technically, she's like the dean of Starfleet Academy, where I think she oversees all the stuff. That would be a rough job, dealing with cadets all day long, so I've got to give her a sympathy tier for that, but...
Do we think
I'd probably
she
go
has enough
A tier
presence to be an S tier? I feel like S tier needs a lot of screen time.
Okay.
Or at least
she has
screen
presence. She has presence for sure. That's what I remember. But she doesn't. She gets a little screen time.
Dean Malenko. Fucking hell.
No, wrong Dean.
I'll buy A. I'll buy A tier.
A works.
I just like how
below Kirk.
Even keeled she is. She doesn't try to take over Starfleet. She doesn't try to conspire with Romulans. This is a solid. This is who you want running Starfleet Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's very
But
safe.
what if
she
we got
doesn't
another-
ham it up at all.
What if we get another 5-episode series and turns out she's actually a Romulan spy at the heart of headquarters? That would have happened. You know it would have. All right. Not a bad.
But we have that coming in Strange New Worlds. We already have that.
Next.
All right. Up next, the inimitable Brock Peters as Admiral Cartwright.
What a piece of shit. D tier. Get that traitor out
No,
of here.
come on. You got to. This guy's arc is great over 3 or 4 films.
Yeah.
He refuses his vaccination, and then he betrays Starfleet. It's a great time.
No, but he's like a good guy in 4, right? Get him back! Get him back!
Yeah,
he thinks the galaxy is flat.
He makes great gumbo. Yeah, he's a very varied character.
He's part of the proud pack lads. Yeah. D tier for me. He's a traitor. He's not a good admiral. He's
No, wait a minute. Are we? What is the tiering here? Are we going like how well they fulfilled their character duties, or like how they are as an admiral?
We're playing fast and loose with it. If he's supposed to be a shithead, but he plays a shithead really well, then that's S tier.
That's why I'm keeping him up at least A floor S tier for me.
Okay.
I just love on Memory Alpha it says status : arrested. Like that's his permanent cryostasis status. He's arrested.
In terms of character
Arrest
work,
yourself.
If you're gonna have if you're gonna have a trait, maybe a B, maybe then.
Those are some good one-liners. Arrest yourselves.
Actually, I'm just looking along the list. I can see a few more of the D's here that would take over him. So
I think
maybe
B.
a B. Yeah, I can see B.
I'll give you B. Sure, I'll give you B.
It's a very memorable one-liners, but all right. Up next, Admiral Eric Pressman, who is Riker's old XO.
Man, he was really shit on that island.
The Pegasus. Yeah.
A lot of knives.
The Pegasus. This was
Terry O'Quinn, who Idol thought was dead a couple of years ago when we talked about him.
It's like 5 years ago. He probably is now. Is he dead yet? What's going on?
No, he's still kicking.
Is Terry Quinn alive?
You tried to kill Mr. Quinn. You're gonna type this in.
No, he's still alive. Okay, that's fine. Terry Quinn, watch.
He's 73.
Terry Quinn, watch.
I love this episode. I think it brings out the best in Riker.
Yeah.
The Riker-Picard relationship is really good in this. And Pressman is just like a guy you love to hate. S tier for me. I think he hits all the notes.
Speaking of outraged Picard, How bad is Picard at Riker? Oh, it's so good.
Which after 7
he makes
years,
everyone
like,
better.
Maybe we throw him some slack. He doesn't at all. He's just like, no. You got to realize how much you fucked up here. I'm going to treat you like you're Kirk in that Salat episode.
He's an S tier Badmiral, right? This is like S tier Badmiral we're giving him.
Well, Esther, because he plays his role so well, he makes the other.
You're putting Brock
better.
Peters at a B for Badmiral. The
Yeah,
guy,
because he wasn't very
like,
good
almost-
at it. He was just panicking most of the time.
He does get caught and arrested, so.
Yeah, and then he arrested himself. I mean, that's noble. He arrested himself.
Buta said he's an
Is that
asshole.
a redemption arc?
Buta says he's an asshole and he does it well. Well, that's most of the people on this list, including people on the chat right now. So, you know.
Oh, please call in chat assholes when we're like the biggest ones of all. I say S tier.
Okay.
So y'all can vote however you want.
I'll say yes as well. I think he was a good Badmiral. A good Badmiral? Is that?
No,
One
Shy,
viewer.
you know as well as anyone. You have to have some snubs in any kind of ranking.
I know.
so.
It's true. It's true.
Boot will accept S. That's all that matters.
Give us a letter here, Shy, because if you say D, that's going to drag
that's
down the
true,
whole
true.
average.
Oh, for O'Quinn?
For Pressman, yes.
You know, I agree with you. I'll give him S tier. That's a great episode. That's a really...
The Pegasus.
Yeah, Pegasus episode. Although, have they brought that technology back in Discovery or any?
Phased cloak.
The phased cloak?
No, I don't think they ever did. I think that one got forgotten. When you got mushrooms,
That's
you don't
I
need
need that
anything
fan
else.
service.
No.
That's
All right,
true.
from one Quinn to another, Admiral Gregory Quinn from season 1 of TNG.
It's a weird character.
Vitamins, they do wonders
S-tier.
for the body.
S tier. S tier.
Really?
Come on.
I would dock him a point just for that uniform.
Yeah, that's true. I was about to say the exact same thing. He loses a point for the uniform. It's true.
Oh, he's. But the thing is, like, he's how he's not really the admiral because he's been affected by the thingy creatures. What they called the parasites. So, are we dealing with an admiral here, or are we dealing with a parasitic creature?
Well, that's all we see of him, right?
True.
Oh no, he comes on I think one episode earlier in the season.
Yeah, he does. He's on for a couple, and
where they
then
warn about
they
the threat to
referenced.
and then he does the Giorgio kick to Riker.
Dude, that high kick, the cuts in that fight scene are so entertaining.
You got all the stunt person.
Yeah, and then Worf just goes through the doors. They shatter like plywood as he flies through the doors. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean he's part of the whole Michael Dorn complaining about getting beat up by like an old man in season 1.
I would go
I
for
will say
B.
it has nothing to do with him, but when they put the little bluegill, they call it, on the back of Riker's neck, it's the shittiest looking prop I've ever seen. Like, come on, Bev, you can do better than that.
I mean, have you ever seen any other admiral
I'll
eat
go with-
worms? Like, because they have that big part. He's like, yes, I'm going to eat this. This is our
Yeah,
food.
the mealworms.
I say B. Maybe A for acting, because it's hammy as fuck.
It is really hammy, yeah.
He's good at, but I'll give you B. It's kind of a
Yeah.
I think B. I mean, when I think about some of the other guys who I think of all time, yeah, Quinn's kind of down a little. B
Is it him or the Vulcan admiral who says aperitif in the lobby of the?
I think it's the Vulcan. I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He may be on the list. I don't remember.
Because that's when I learned the word aperitif.
Really? How old were you? Oh no, I don't want to.
I mean,
Don't
I was
you out
like
yourself.
6. I was like 11.
Yeah, all of us watching on syndication were like that.
Sitting there with our vol au vents and our order champagne. It's a slight aperitif.
All right, from the episode The Offspring, Admiral Heftel, who tries to get Data to give up Lal and take her back to the... His hands are moving so fast, I could...
That's S tier Badmiral.
That says
murderer
really,
Heftel.
well, yeah, he's kind of a
and he gets away with it.
I think we read a Heftel.
What do you mean he's kind of a Badmiral? What did you just say? He murders David's daughter.
From his, he Badmirals to me are the ones that like go outside of Starfleet and like generally try to commit a crime, like Cartwright or Quinn, when he's infected. Like, Halftel is working within his lines. Like, okay, he's got a shit take, but he's just like, well, data is a thing, and we need this thing, and the same reason that what's his name from the trial episode, Measure of a Man? The scientist guy that comes on the ship in the blue uniform was in Picard. No, we've all crashed.
Sorry, I'm looking up
Lieutenant.
something for like a different character.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to memory out for it now. Maddox, thank you, Booter.
Oh,
He's
Maddox.
kind of got the same line as Maddox, and we don't blame Maddox for his take because it's not unreasonable in debate.
They're basically they're future bigots. It's a look at bigotry in the future, and you have to have someone play the role. So I do like when he talks about like his parentage or him being a parent, that qualifies him to make these decisions. It's like, well, you're obviously a shitty parent, so maybe you shouldn't be making this decision. I've learned with difficulty that there comes a time where you must let go of your child. I'm like, oh, I'm sure you were a great parent.
Yeah, he's saying the wrong things, like,
But we get a redemption arc at the end,
exactly,
where he puts it aside to help Data, and
because he's a Starfleet officer.
Yeah, your favorite.
When Discovery does the whole thing like, we are Starfleet, hey, parade, and all this kind of stuff, like, that kind of feels disingenuous. When Halftel goes like, right, I'm going to put aside my emotional part to help Data save a life that I'm debating about, that's more Starfleet to me, because he has one side of a debate, they're debating, and again, this is my two men in a room talking about something thing that I love, they're debating something that is critically important, but when the moment comes, he's a hero. So he's not a
order a man to hand over his child to the state, not while I'm his captain. Once again, he makes the characters around him better.
Yeah.
He makes Data better, he makes Picard better, and that's like S tier.
Yeah. S tier,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And he has your favorite monologue from that
Yes.
episode.
Which we did, I think, in a charity read. If you want to go back through our catalog.
That's by far S tier. If that's not S tier, then this whole thing's a sham.
How much do you think Netflix would pay for our entire streaming catalog? About $350.
Quatloon.
Yeah, how many Quatloos?
All right, we got a lot to go through. Up next, Jean-Luc Picard, Admiral Picard. I think he's Admiral more than once. There's like an alternate future thing. We'll focus on the Picard series of him as Admiral.
I mean, the only time we ever see him doing Admiral-like things is at the start of Season 2 when he's like presiding over Starfleet Academy. The rest of the time, he's just shambling about, pretending to like work out what's going on.
No, he's bad at it. He's
Clancy
failed to convince them.
Yeah, he can't get passage booked like for them to go to the cube. Like he's just no one likes him at that point.
Even
no one
Shaw
believes in
calls
him.
him out. Even when they're sitting there on the ship and he's just like, yeah, we need to comment, I'm going to comment this ship for the training episode. And Shaw's just like, no, I'm not going to do that. Where Picard could have just gone around like, hang on, what the fuck? I'm an admiral. You'll do as I say. Like so many admirals did to him when they came on the ship. So, God.
Right, even in the flashback, he's not able to like secure ships to evacuate Romulus.
Yeah. He struggles.
Well, part of that is, because Federation as a whole doesn't want to help their enemy. So... But he's completely
but this is the great diplomat. Picard's supposed to be the great diplomat, right? There's always a solution.
I give him credit for wanting to do the humanitarian thing, giving up his captaincy to try to oversee this evacuation, but it just everything after that is unfortunately not great.
We don't like the same problem I have with Kirk, essentially, is we don't see him he's too much of a hero to do Admiralty kind of things. He's not... What would have been good is if Riker had been captain of the Titan and he'd come on and done that Admiral Halftel or Pressman thing where he'd been like, no, I'm in the right, you don't need to know this, I know we're all friends, but I have this overriding authority... And then had that conflict between him and Riker that he has had with many admirals previously, although probably Riker could assuage him with a cucumber sandwich or two. I don't know.
There's a theory in management where if you do a good job, you get promoted. So eventually the end state is you're in this job where you're not good enough to get promoted. Great at that job necessarily. So a lot of these guys are great captains and they get promoted to
Never
a
take
job
the best
that they
job.
don't,
Yeah.
they're
Kirk
not
warned
suited
him.
at. Yeah, I think I'll go D tier because he
Oh.
actively loses struggles that his admiralty is involved in. So,
Shy?
I can't give Patrick Stewart a D tier on anything. That's
kind of what I was
insanity.
thinking. I'm like, we're slamming on him,
Yeah.
but I'm just like, oh, but it's Picard. Like, it's.
I'll go C
I
tier.
think C. Yeah, I can see.
It's a shame. Is this separate from hologram Admiral Picard?
yeah, so we're just doing the real Picard.
Okay. Because
Real
hologram
simple.
Admiral Picard's great. That goatee is fantastic, but
Well, you might be a little biased.
yeah, I don't know what you're talking
Amazing
about.
moustache.
Mirror Shyaporn. All right, up next, Captain Edward James Jellicoe.
Wait, oh, I've got these in the wrong order. Oh, sorry, yeah, go on. James Jellicoe. Yeah, Jellicoe.
Wait, why do we have Jellicoe?
Yeah, why the fuck have you got Jellicoe on it? He's an
Wait,
Admiral
is
in
that-
Prodigy.
Is it Prodigy? All right,
Yeah.
I just grabbed from a list. Sorry.
Yeah, he's a Admiral in Prodigy.
If you want to put him in an Admiral's tier list.
Whatever. I actually haven't seen enough Prodigy to know.
He's right. They should be on a 4-shift rotation. All ships should be on a 4-shift. Otherwise,
Indiana should be wearing a uniform.
I mean, that's the
so
best
he's
thing he
right
ever
about
did,
that.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Absolutely
I don't
right.
think
If
he
we're
goes far
hearing
enough.
this
I
as
think
a
it should be a
captain-
5-tier rotation, but there you go.
And you know what? Those should not be captain things. Those are admiral level administrative things.
Those are level thinking.
So he's probably like, at least C tier, at least B, C,
Yeah.
B.
He is an Admiral in Prodigy. In Prodigy, he's not that much of a thorn for Janeway. He basically just tells her, even though she's an Admiral as well, is just to say, like, no, you can't do this. And she goes, well, I'm going to do it anyway. And that's pretty much it. So it's a cool, like, oh, cool, they got Ronnie Cox back moment, but he doesn't really do a lot of admiraling.
I mean, he's the FDR of captains, where he's a great wartime captain, but no one would want to serve during peacetime. So,
What, you have a problem with the New Deal? No. I'm sorry. 50 years of prosperity here is an issue for you.
all right. So like I said, I haven't seen Prodigy, so I abstain from this vote. It was a fuck up by me.
In the terms of things, I'd probably say B. Like, if for Prodigy, Admiral Jellicoe, he's fine. Jellicoe in a whole, that's a whole different story. We could tier the captains and we'd be all over this for an S tier, but there we are.
All right. Up next, from Best of Both Worlds, Admiral J.P. Hansen.
Man, it's could be the most charismatic admiral of them all, really.
He's up there. S tier. Wow. He goes down swinging.
But does he make the best call? He gives Shelby to Picard, and he's like, you want to get rid of your, you want to get this, this young girl on, you want to get rid of your old hat, keep them going?
Bro, I was going to say D tier, because that line, he goes, Picard says, you seem rather taken with her, JP. Just an old man's fantasy.
Oh, yeah, that's not
I got the ick from that line.
Yeah.
So I've never been a big fan of Hansen personally.
Doesn't he... Oh, no, I'm thinking of someone else, actually. I was going to say he comes back
He
in
does-
Voyager, but no, that's a different account.
Yeah, he leads a ship at Wolf 359,
That's right, that gets destroyed as well.
Yeah.
You
say S, Shy?
If you want to reduce him to A for some toxic masculinity from the 80s, that's fine. I'm going to give him a pass.
I think this was 1990, so it's a completely different decade.
Oh, okay.
It's
Well,
fine. There were burning
go.
bras
Yeah.
and everything. It's okay.
Masculinity is no longer the driving force of our future in the 90s.
That's right.
I give him a B because he doesn't...
We're polarized. Alex, no, you got to go one way or the other. You can't
Oh, so I got to choose between S and A.
give us a...
No. You can go middle. That would even us out as A.
S and D.
Oh,
Jesus
come
Christ.
on. We got to
you're
make a
putting him in
command
D.
decision.
Jesus Christ.
So if you choose B, then he's a B.
Yeah, that sounds like probably the middle. He's an old man, but he doesn't really do anything. Actually, I'm kind of more leaning C. There's not.
What are you talking about? Look. I knew a young man who ran the Academy Marathon as a freshman. You don't like that
good story.
monologue?
That is a good story. All right.
All right, B,
I'll
fine,
bump.
fine.
We can go B.
Okay, fine. Underneath, not
There's
Admiral
there's
Jellicoe.
no chance in hell Picard would ever give in to the Borg. Which, although, isn't that a fault of his? He doesn't understand how Borg work. Picard doesn't have a choice as to whether or not he's giving into the Borg. Like
that's what he's saying. He's saying he's not actively like helping the Borg. And I like how he turns on his favorite, right? His teacher's pet Shelby. He's like, no, you're a good officer and all, but no, we're going to shut this down right now.
All right. Now you're talking me up because I forgot some of these lines.
Yeah. He dies going down at Wolf 356. Come on.
That's true. All right, B and a half. You put him near the top of B.
We can do B. It's fine.
All right, Admiral Catherine Janeway. Thinking Endgame? Probably not.
So this is
First
not.
Contact.
She's Vice Admiral, right?
Because we
Which
had this
movie is she
discussion.
in?
So this version of Janeway you picked is the
Nemesis?
non-real Janeway. The Admiral Janeway from Prodigy is the real one.
Oh, I was
No.
thinking Endgame. You can do Prodigy either.
Okay.
This is Endgame
mean,
Janeway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's real in Endgame. It's just her in a different timeline.
Timeline.
It's real. Oh, no. Do I have a trigger for it's real? Oh fuck! Need to work on that.
We can include both. They're both real to me. Do Endgame and Prodigy.
Sorry. Evidence. Explain your case.
What do you guys rank? What are your ranks?
I feel like she has. She spent her entire captaincy cultivating a don't give a fuck that I think an admiral needs to have, and I think she might be one of the few who's better as an admiral than a captain. Not that she's a bad captain by any means.
Well, I think the one thing that made me roll my eyes is like, no, I've given up tea. I was like, what?
No, giving up coffee.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she's now on the teas. That's right. I'm giving up coffee.
Yeah, but then she drinks it. She goes, I don't know why I ever give this.
Yeah. Actually, to be fair, I've had a very similar thing where I'm now. I was on decaf for a long time, and then I had a real coffee, and I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? This is so much better. So I can relate to that.
Well, because in the episode, it's when she starts acting like a captain again, like that she starts drinking coffee. Like they're connected. It's like, I don't know why I ever gave up being captain, is what she's basically saying.
I like the polarizing aspect.
At the beginning of the episode, she throws her weight around with B'Elanna's daughter, with Reg, with the doc. Like, she does whatever she has to do to get the job done. And I like that they bend the rules. Like,
yeah, I like that there was her and Captain Janeway together. You know, and they were essentially, you were seeing the differences through like experience and age, and she was a bit, very arrogant. You know what Janeway's like, the arrogance, especially when someone's saying no to her face is like, well, no, I'm not going to do this. And two of them together was just dynamite on screen. That was really good. So I want to say S. Like, I really enjoyed Admiral.
Yeah, you get the sense that Janeway let herself be promoted just to pull off this plan. Like, she had this plan from the second they offered her this promotion. Yeah, so I'll go S tier too.
Yeah,
I think I'd say A, but it wouldn't take much to talk me up to.
Mm.
Yeah,
all right. Like an S.
Admiral Katrina Cornwell from Discovery.
What you want, lass? Just dinner like
that candle.
Sorry, I don't know why that one came up. Okay, Katrina Cornwell. I liked Cornwell. Apart from the one caveat that she just kind of randomly sleeps with the guy from the Mirror Universe that she had a previous interaction with, but she was cool.
Yeah. Once again, massive conflict of interest. She's sleeping with the captain. She can't even tell that he's not her ex-lover from a Mirror Universe.
I'm trying to work out, like, if
but she's so badass.
Mirror Universe, would I be able to tell?
Because of the facial hair, at least.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. If it's Halloween, I wouldn't be able to.
But she's so badass in the rest of the series. Like, I gotta give her a B. I mean, she gives, like, she does therapy on Ash.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
While she's paralyzed in like a Klingon abattoir, and they're under fire.
I'd give her much more than a B for that. Then I think she's very badass. She kind of goes out in a kind of a dumb way, but like her death scene is.
I don't like that death either.
No, I don't like it. But like, I always thought she was a competent admiral. She felt like an admiral. Like she was bossing around Lorca a little bit, but Pike most of all, and dealing with the Section 31 plot and everything like that. Definitely felt like that was someone that was in command of a division of things. Like, yeah, I am leaning a lower S for Cornwall.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I think she was the first primary mega crew we ever got in timelines. So that's
Don't bring timelines into this.
That's got to count for
That's
something.
true. She was a great card.
She's in an early 2000s show called John Doe with Dominic Purcell, where he plays a guy that has forgotten his identity, but he knows everything else. Super smart, and she's a cop, and he helps her solve crimes. And I like that show. I used to like it when I watched it years ago. So that's why I like Cornwell. So A or S is fine with me.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll do A. I'll come up to A.
She's more hands-on than almost all the admirals we've looked at.
Well, you know what's great about her? She's both a good wartime and a peacetime admiral. She's good in both, which is rare.
Promote them all, I say, because this is true.
Come on, me lads, promote them all. All right.
All right, where we settle in A?
Yeah, I think A.
Yeah.
All right. From the episode Ensign Rowe, Admiral Kennelly. Now, this scumbag sells out the Bajorans to the Cardassian, and he has that little Cardassian virus that clues off Picard into what was going on. Do you remember this episode?
I remember Ensign Rowe. I don't remember this guy.
Well, that doesn't
I need
bode
a
well
bigger
for his
picture of him.
tuning.
I can barely.
What was his name?
Vice Admiral Kennelly.
Kennelly.
Kennelly. He's very smug and self-righteous and a dick. And I do like the effect he has on Ro, where she finally cracks and says, I can't keep doing this.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I told him I was going to spy on the mission during this mission for him, but, Guinan told me to trust you, Picard. So I do like his part in that story arc, but he's such a fucking weasel. I don't like him. Apparently, I picked too obscure an admiral on this one.
No,
he's definitely there are some ends justify the means admirals who actually have noble ends in mind, and this guy is not one of them.
All right, I'll say throw him in C.
Throw him in C. Okay, forgettable.
He is entertaining to watch. He makes Ro a little better, but he's all right. Admiral Kirsten Clancy from Star Trek Picard.
I mean, come on now.
Yes. Sheer fucking hubris. I love that. Like Picard
How
just waltzes
she
in.
become iconic? Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
She just became iconic from one line. One line.
And she was in a band. What was the band called? Fuck. It was a Star Trek related thing. Admiral Clancy. I'll find this out in a second. I remember reading this. Anne Magnuson was an American actress and a musician. She was in a heavy metal band called Vulcan Death Grip. There we go. Oops, I've lost the thing now.
Yeah.
Oh, is it the one with other Trek actors?
Possibly. Vulcan Death Grip.
Oh, no, this was a band before she was associated with.
Yeah, sheer fucking hubris. I mean,
I know like Garrett Graham and some of the other actors did their own.
No, it wasn't
Trek
that one.
band.
No, this is like from the 80s, like the 80s and 90s or something like that. But no, Picard has this whole scene where he goes, I was like, I need a ship. We've got this mission we go on. And she's just like, no, fuck off. You haven't been here for 6 months. You've been brooding in your fucking chateau, drinking Nerf de Pap till 3 a.m. I've been trying to contact you to get some real work done. Get the fuck out of my office.
She does make Picard look like a bitch.
Yeah.
Which isn't easy to do.
No. I'm gonna say A. She feels like an admiral. She's in command. She's at the top.
Yeah,
she has authority.
I concur.
Auto.
Okay. I just don't like her personally, but I understand the argument for it.
What are we arguing here? This is the thing.
I'd say B. I just
2 A's and a B. That's a low A.
That's an A. All right.
A minus. All right.
A flat. Admiral Layton from the two-parter, what is it, Homefront, and the other one.
Two of my favorite fucking episodes in all of Star Trek. I love Homefront.
Very distinct voice on Admiral Layton.
Yeah. You want some tea? S tier for me, through and through. This
Robert Foxworth.
Yeah, this guy's
phenomenal.
phenomenal.
He also plays Velas. I forgot about that. In Enterprise, he plays a legendary dick and then Velas. So,
like, yeah, him and Robert Cox, legendary dicks in all franchises.
Yeah, he's a great prick.
No, I love Homefront. He is a great heel in this because he comes across at the start as being part of the system, and then in the end, like he is essentially like Kennedy. I forgot his name already. Is that insignificant? You know, he is the villain.
Kennedy.
Yeah, he's the.
Sorry, that was a wrestling.
Mr. Kennedy. He's the heel all along. But he gets so much screen time that you kind of like, is he, isn't he? And he has a great moustache twirling, sorry, Shy, bit at the end where he tries to justify his actions, and he's like, well, it's the good of the Federation and all that kind of stuff.
He also does turn himself in at the end, where Sisko says you're cornered. He goes, all right, I'll ask you that you're right this time. So he does kind of have a tiny little redemption at the end.
Yeah. No, he's great.
I'll say yes. He's very memorable.
You're gonna give him S. Look at all these fascists up in S tier.
Shit.
Yeah, sure.
We're gonna type.
Hey.
No, I'm saying S.
Well, tell us, Shy. How you feeling?
I don't know. You're right. That's a very solid two-part Homefront, and but he's completely a fascist admiral, but he does it well. So go ahead, S tier him.
He's going to send Red Squad to DC any minute now.
Admiral Mark Jameson.
Oh my god! Fucking
from
D tier.
He does. That is maybe the worst age makeup in the history of Star Trek.
His motives are just, it's just, I want to be younger.
On episode 2, shortest season. Now, I know Garrick really loves this episode, 2 shortest season. He references it all the time.
He's just, no.
Also, he's kind of a shitty husband because he buys enough of the drug for him and his. But once he sees a chance at glory, he gobbles the whole thing down. He's like, "Fuck my wife; she can stay old." So just so he can go fight Carnass on the planet or whatever. I mean,
Star Trek's done the aging thing so many times. Like, TOS did it, TNG did it a different time. This is like reverse aging, but it goes wrong. I'm sure there's another episode somewhere with some aging going on. Oh, Rascals as well. Like, it's a common trope, but this is like the worst one because he's just a...
Yeah, he's got to be a D just because of it. He can't read the fucking instructions on the side of the pill bottle. He's just... There's like a warning, will die because your organs are de-aging too quickly. Do not take...
It comes with a little bit of paper in there and you
all
just
at
throw
once.
it like we all do. 10% chance of being a dick. Okay, I'm happy with D. D?
Yeah, D.
D.
He's not. It's not a good episode. He's not fun to watch.
No.
Yeah, and left no notes as to where he found this medication because
old
people still exist in the Federation. He could have solved aging across the entire Federation, but
it's Venus drug. It only makes them think they're beautiful, and so they behave beautifully. But it doesn't actually work.
They ran out of Vaseline in 1987. There wasn't enough to go on the lens at this time, so they just had to actually make makeup.
All right. Up next, Admiral Matthew Dougherty out was his catch line because he kept hanging up calls on everyone.
How many lives, Admiral?
You know what that makes us? Partners. He's got a little bit of a drawl on him.
He's great. I love Insurrection. Good. I really do like Insurrection. Like, it's a fun
I really like Insurrection.
Insurrection's a very amusing episode, B tier episode of the TNG.
Fuck off.
God.
Actually, I tell you what, that little CGI weasel that climbs on the branch was my least favorite part of that movie.
Shy. When your partner kisses you, does she say, "Oh, I've never kissed you with a moustache before"? Is she going to shave it off in the bath?
I kiss you and you say yuck.
Yeah.
She does have that reaction to me whenever I shave. Actually, she's like, "Who is this? Who are you?"
All right, the Dougherty gentleman. That scene is great between him and Picard and the in the ready room. How many people, Admiral, does it take before it becomes wrong?
100
Although
million.
he is made a complete punk at the end by Ruafo, who has great old man strength. He beats the crap out of him, throws him in the chair, and then stretches him to death.
Which somehow
That is a
kills
pretty
Death by
gnarly death
facelift.
scene.
Yeah. Must like crush his brain or something, but it just sort of like scratches his face. Like,
yeah.
I go for an A. I really enjoy him when he's on screen. Good dialogue between him, and he's a kind of yeah. Joe Rivers would be proud. Thanks, Booer.
All right, Shy.
He was an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Thank you. He's a C. I mean,
oh wow,
he's not even the big bad in this movie.
True.
It's F. Murray Abraham.
Yeah, who is a great actor, by the way.
Yeah. I do love, that's the one thing about Insurrection, is like when the thing, I forget what the solar sail thing is done, he does that, like a proper like scenery chewing head tank, like scream at the end. It's like, and Picard gets to get his guns out as he's grappling down. It's a great film. I love Insurrection.
Does Insurrection have the most impressionable lines of all the movies? Because it's got a lot of...
It has got a lot of lines in it, yeah. Do you think my boobs are firming up? It is a gorge.
It is a gorge. By the way, there is an Admiral Gorge. I found this on Memory Alpha.
Oh my god!
Wow. I forget. I think he's either Discovery or one of the New Trek things, but they have an Admiral Gorge.
Wow.
I would say A. You say C.
I say A. You say C. So you're the tiebreaker, Auto.
He's really memorable to me, but he's kind of flaccid. He gets punked by Picard, by Ruafo. I think I'll join you in C, although personally I really enjoy watching. So
sounds like a C.
I just
if you want to take him to B to average it out, I'd be fine. But
he was a shitty admiral, though. He's not a good admiral.
No.
The problem.
Yeah. Actually, leave him at C. Leave him
All
at
right.
C. This is ridiculous.
All right, what do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 left. All right, Admiral Maxwell Forrest from Enterprise. This got me an automatic S.
Mm-hmm.
He does so much in that series.
He's so good. He's in command. He never loses his
You
rank.
actually-
He tells Archer when he's wrong, and he's just proper diplomat. Like he's
Yeah. Spoiler alert: you actually feel bad when he dies. You know,
Heroic, yeah, and it furthers the narrative.
No, it's
they didn't fridge him.
It's the quickest S tier I've ever known. I want to talk about him more, but it's S tier.
Go for it.
He's
we
great.
Got time, right?
That's all.
All right, we'll circle back around if you want to monologue. Admiral Owen Paris from Voyager, Tom's father, involved in the Pathfinder project.
How many times do you think Owen Paris visited Tom in prison? Do you think it was?
By the way, rest in peace, Richard Hurd.
Oh yes.
Oh, you mean when he was young, before when he was in the penal colony?
Yeah, when he's in the penal colony. Do you think he ever visited? Because I kind of get a feeling he was a bit estranged.
Yeah, they were, but I think that's more on Tom than on him.
He did a lot for him, right? He erases his identity as Nick Locarno and changed it to.
No, it's now canon.
Paris.
It is now
And then-
canon that Nick Locarno is a different person.
He has that
That's
picture
true,
of Nick
that's
on
true.
his desk, though, so he doesn't let us in that much.
He's just a big fan.
Well, he hid the existence of his second son, Nick Locarno.
Is this like the Bart and Hugo
what is that
situation?
Simpsons episode? Yeah.
Yeah, he's
thank
going to
you.
feed him fish heads through the roof of the runabout or something.
Okay, so I was swimming. This is a fucking weird story. I was swimming in Lake Michigan last weekend, and I have my goggles on. I go down, look, I see what looks to be one half of a brassiere, like a lacy brassiere. And I'm thinking, well, I always grab garbage if I can, throw it out on my way out. Save our planet. So I
Sounds
grab
like
it.
a Naked Gun kind of situation.
And I stand up out of the water. I turn around and show it to my sister was there at the beach with me. And she starts screaming. I'm like, what? And I look at it and I realize it's a decaying, rotting fish head that I've grabbed. That I'm holding in my hand. And I'm like, oh, and I just dropped it. And so we couldn't do anything. We couldn't swim in that area because we were afraid the fish head might come find us the rest of the day. So we had to move down the beach. Anyway.
Okay, what's this got to do with our
You said rotting fish head, and
oh,
so
right.
All right, what tier is Admiral Owen Paris?
I don't know. C.
B.
I mean,
C,
he
D.
gives Barkley a hard time, which he's not wrong.
He's right to,
but he does come round in the end.
That's why I give him a B.
Okay,
Because he actually is functional admiral.
I use up all our debate time with a shitty fish head story, so I'll just put him in B.
Put him in B.
All right.
Monkey.
Speaking of dicks, Admiral Pasulk from Ad Astra Prospera.
This guy.
Speaking of secret Romulans. Speaking of secret Romulans.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
This guy's a fucking Romulan.
He's got Ortegas on speed dial.
But you do love to hate him, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's worth something.
Evidence!
I will say Battelle was terrible in this because she just shouts. All of her lines she shouts.
Also, she doesn't really believe in her case. She's trying to do that. Like Riker was a more believable, friendly defendant or antagonist, even should I say, prosecutor. That's the word. Than
I'll say C tier because I don't want him on my screen, but I do enjoy ragging on him a little bit.
Of him. I would like to see him come back.
Yeah, he's a B. He's a B because he's a secret Romulan.
I'll say B as well. Yeah, he had presence.
He's so conniving.
Yeah. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of stuff.
Admiral Robert April, and we're going to do the Strange New Worlds one because we barely remember the TAS episode. Although that is pretty trippy.
A lot of TASes. Can we go watch Magix and Megas 2 again? Because I feel like that was a fever dream. I don't believe it really happened. Yeah, Admiral Rob April. He's okay. I do feel like he gives Pike a lot of leniency. He has definite Pike bias.
He is a softie. He plays favorites.
He does play favorites because obviously Pike was his first officer. Do we see him lay the smackdown much? Like maybe once or twice?
I do like the little scene he gets at the beginning of Hegemony Part 2, Episode 1 of this season, where he says, no, we got to stick to this side of the demarcation line officially. And Pike goes, and unofficially, and then
yes,
don't make us look like bitches in front of the Gorn. Do what you got to do. He understands the real politics of it all.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I could see an A.
That's why I have him on solid S tier.
Ooh.
That scene from the beginning of the season, where also I like in a series when characters are developed because other people are talking about them, and people talk about April. And you get these little bits, especially the fact that he has a surprisingly rich baritone from Strange New Worlds.
I forgot about that.
I love the idea that you just call someone, like you're in the middle of the night, you wake up, you got a call on your vidophone from us, like, and then you sort of answer the phone and go, yes, hello, it's me, what the fuck? Like this virus just spreads throughout all reality somehow.
I've got to say, because I am like a stickler for sticking to canon and classic and everything, when I found out who they cast for April, I'm like, that's not right. If you want to do a good black character, just do an original good black character. Why do you have to? And I was so wrong about this. So I've got to give him credit. He's a fantastic character. I do want to see him. He makes the other characters around him better. He was good in that, what is that season 2 episode? Where they're dealing with the Rongovians and they realize it's reverse diplomacy that works. He's good in that one. So
actually, is that?
I would say A, but if you want to put him in S, I'm kind of cool with that. He definitely proved me wrong.
I'll say A. I would like to, I don't know, maybe I just want him to be a bit harder on the crew sometimes, maybe sort of be an admiral. But you're right, he does lift up everyone around him. He is sympathetic. Don't ever think whenever he comes on screen, oh, here's April. Like, it's always just like, oh, cool, he's back. Let's go.
Yeah. Also, he's by far the coolest looking admiral.
Yeah.
We've had, like, uniform and just general look.
Yeah.
Actually, he looks like
I could see yes.
He looks like live action Alonzo Freeman, doesn't he? Because they both got like the the facial hair and
the epaulets because of the epaulets.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, let's put him in S. I'm saying S.
All right.
You've talked me up.
Here, this will be a fun one. Admiral Nora Satie from the Drug.
That's not.
I've taken down bigger men than you, Picard.
You actually haven't put her image in her.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we're missing. Where's
Wait, that's on my list. Damn it. I didn't pick it
Never
up.
mind,
Well,
we can
let's just
pretend she's
pretend
in
we're... Yeah. Sorry.
Nora Sati. Which, do you know what was weird? Like, she's an admiral, but she's gone to the Deanna Troy School of Uniforms. Like, I'll just wear what the fuck I want and look glamorous doing it.
Yeah, that collar is like obnoxiously large. It's like a 13-inch collar. When she's in the red anyway.
When the first chain is broken. I mean, I kind of want to say it's S tier just for Picard's speech coming as a part of it.
She's really legendary.
She was
for one episoder.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put her in A because she's a one episoder, and it's more her. It's more because of how Picard's like. She's reacting off of Picard's attack.
It's more that like she's sort of like the best representation of, and again it comes back to like, you know, in Discovery or in the other series do like, oh, we're Starfleet, and it's like, no, you don't need to say that. You have people like Sati on the other side being the bigots for someone to argue against. That's how you prove that humanity is better. You show, don't tell, essentially, and that's a good moral argument.
We have Halftel and Terry Quinn also in S tier, and they were one episode wonders.
Yeah.
So
I'd say Sati's S.
I'll go S too. She's super memorable.
All right.
She brings out.
I defer. I also just don't think her. I'm not as wild about Drumhead as.
I love Drumhead.
Really?
It's so good.
Oh.
Yeah. I need to rewatch it. I haven't watched it in a while.
You should watch the Drumhead while standing on a drumhead.
It is.
No, now I'm not going to.
What is that black and white movie they crib everything from? The
Manchurian Candidate? No.
No.
Three
It's that-
Stooges?
No, it's that courthouse, black and white courthouse.
12 Angry Men.
No, that's the only one you know.
It's not the only one I know, but it's also a black and white courthouse.
Anyway, like where it's a witch
Anyway.
hunt of some sort. Like
Yeah, they do like a shot-for-shot remake, and when they have that little Romulan, he like covers his face in shame, and the Betazoid's yelling at him, and Riker goes over and he whispers in his ear. He's like, "It's so goofily dramatic that I do like the sequence." That has nothing to do with set. Sorry, I went off on a wild ornithorn chase. From the same episode, Admiral Thomas Henry. This guy has one scene. He shows up, looks disgusted at the goings-on, walks out, and calls off the hearings. S tier. Yeah,
kind of agree with that. He has such the best sour face. Like he's just like he smelled something bad in that room. He's just like, getting out of here. Does he even have any
That's
lines?
great. No, I don't think he says a single
B.
word. He just comes in
It's a B.
a stank face. He's the adult in the room. It's so good.
I can't agree with Shy. It's a B. He doesn't really do a lot other than just look shit.
It's a functional B.
I do like him, but yeah, a B makes sense.
All right. I think he's great. He brooks no bullshit. All right. Three left
here.
I think you guys. Yeah, speaking of S tier, Admiral Vance.
Admiral Vance
from
is great.
Discovery.
My big complaint with Admiral Vance is like I liked him early season 3 when he was giving Burnham so much shit, deservedly so, and it was just like, great, finally someone's taken Burnham down a peg, and then all of a sudden it's like, but we're best friends now, and just do what you want, it's fine. Do you want to be captain? Cool, go be captain. And he kind of like just instantly softens him to, you know, there's a lot of reasons why he should then, you know, Burnham did earn his trust, but I liked the earlier season of like Vance sort of being a bit more strict than accepting, but Oded Fair like is just amazing in the role. Like he's incredible. Like he's got such a stage presence, especially like it's made of shit, you know. It's like it's completely out of the wild.
Apple science lesson. You can't beat that.
Yeah,
I do like him in season 5 where Rayner and Burnham are doing their synopsis of what happened. And Vance basically goes, all right, Rayner, leave the room while we talk about you. He's very much the adult in the room at times.
Yes, and that's what's quite good. And I think like some other admirals on this list often don't feel quite petty or feel like they're like struggling with their own command. He definitely feels like, I will do no wrong. I have command. I know what I'm doing. I am the competent one right now. Even like the end of season 4, when all shit's going to hell, it's just him and Tilly on the bridge sharing a whiskey and just kind of like, world's ending, and he's still like, no, I'm seeing it out. I'm going down with the starbase ship thing, and it's, yeah, he's cool. He's S tier for me, for sure.
Right. If I say D, though, that brings the average down a little bit. So,
but you're not getting it right. You cannot.
No.
I cannot.
All right,
I will
up next.
right now.
S tier's fine. Up next, Admiral William Riker. Now, I think.
What? When was he Admiral?
Wait, when was he?
So he's Admiral a few times. He's Admiral in All Good Things.
Right.
Oh, okay.
In the
Future timeline.
In the alternate future. And then I think, is he not Admiral by Picard?
No, he's Captain.
Season 3?
No, he's Captain. He's retired Captain, yeah.
Retired captain, because he had to leave his command to take care of his kid.
Things.
Yeah.
I just grabbed the image from whatever memory.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Takes me like a half hour to do these, all right? So cut me.
No, you did great.
Admiral Riker was just a bit of a dick all round, really, wasn't he? Just such a grumpy man. Like, the makeup wasn't great either.
Oh, yeah. Well, because in this timeline, Troy's dead, right? Like,
yeah, and he blames. I think he blames Worf for it. So
back when they were trying to do Troy and Worf, trying to make Troy and Worf a thing, like
But he
Worf
does helm.
him, yeah.
He helms the triple nacelle D with the that phaser punches a hole through the Klingons with the first shot. That was a fucking cool sequence.
Yeah, the particle gun's great. That's pretty amazing.
But that's more the Enterprise, not
the
Riker.
phaser rail gun.
Yeah, but he's in charge.
Yeah, but I mean, people are in charge of other things that do
he
cool
gets
things.
Credit for all 3 nacelles.
Okay,
Sorry.
fine.
He picked that ship. He probably altered that. He probably had those upgrades installed.
You know, I'm going to give him an A because I feel you can just, when you watch him, you feel that he's a totally distinct, different character than Commander William Riker playing for 7 seasons. So I think he does a good job making
he's a B. He's a B. Worf has to shame him into going back.
That is true.
Yeah, he does kind
because it always works, Worf.
What do you say? Also, you said A.
The best...
I said Shay said B.
Oh shit!
I'm not married to this one. It's a 1 episode.
Best series finale of all time.
I would probably go A. He does have a commanding presence a little bit more.
Speaking of series finales, we weren't kidding, Shy. We're going to review Turnabout Intruder, but you have to do doing Janice Rand.
To do what?
You have to do Shatner doing Janice Rand. We're going to have a little table read after we review that episode, and you've got to be Shatner for that.
And you've got to be standing during the movements. Because I feel like a lot of the Shatner's acting there in his movement.
All right, we'll cap this one off. Oh wait, did I not put Nechayev in here?
You didn't even put Nechayev in there.
Damn it! I meant to put her in. Anyway, last one, Admiral William Ross from Deep Space Nine.
What a boss! What a fucking boss!
Yeah, but he's a Section 31 sympathizer.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
He goes off. He goes out on a really lame note at the end of the series.
Does he? No, he doesn't die, does he?
No, he goes out on a lame note.
Oh, I see. Right, yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, I was going to say, I don't remember him dying.
That whole scene with him and Bashir is like, that takes him down a peg.
It does, but then there's the moments in Season 6 when he is being the Admiral and it's like, Cisco, here's a big fucking gun, go fuck people up. And like, yeah, that's just great. But you're kind of right, like, Cisco does really win the war.
Chat says he stood on the shoulders of Cisco.
Yeah.
So they're giving credit not to Ross.
I do like his character, though. He's kind of a... I don't know, it's him and Cisco are quite similar in character in terms of how they're dealing with the war. They're both kind of straight men sort of talking over the tactics of things a lot of the time. We don't really have a moment of levity with Ross, or at least not that I can remember. Like, a Nog and Ross episode would have been quite funny.
What?
See?
How do you pair up Nog and Ross?
Because it's two polar opposites. Like, you got to have that contrast. Like, I don't think they paired Ross with anyone that went against his style of just like, I'm the Admiral and I like the guy. I love Ross. I think he's a great character. But
Barry Jenner. All right, Shy, thoughts on Ross?
He's frankly a little forgettable for me. Like
I would tend to agree.
Cisco's just dominating like every scene that's he's fine, he's competent, but like that combined with the Section 31 stuff puts him clearly B tier for me.
I think I personally just never connected with capacity.
Wow.
I think he's a pretty good admiral up until the end, but
wow. I'll put him a high B.
High B, okay, that's fine. So there we go. Canonically, unequivocally, the worst admiral of all time is Jameson.
Yeah,
we've figured that out.
We need wait. Where's Nechayev? Where are we ranking Nechayev?
All right, because I forgot that one. I like her. The only time you don't like her is in Everyone's Dream in DS9, where people act like she gave him up to the Dominion. They forget that wasn't real. So she's tough but fair with Picard, but she has a soft spot for Balerian canopies. Natalie's
really
a very
like
attractive woman. She was one of my first crushes in TNG. So,
Oh yeah, you're saying just like an old man's fantasy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. You knocked me down to D tier in Trek Time Host.
No, but she has an arc. She actually has a character arc across TNG. Like they're very bristly, her and Picard for seasons, and then he offers her canopies, and suddenly that relationship begins to defrost.
Right.
It's actually one of the things I like about TNG are the slow character arcs that they don't like say overtly, but they're there.
Yeah. It's pseudo serialization or proto serialization. I put her in A. I really like.
I can't believe you don't have Admiral
she's an S tier
Chakotay
for me.
in here.
Well, like I say, I haven't finished Prodigy. That's on me.
Admiral Chakotay wearing
What do you
the
say?
yellow uniform.
All right, enough Chakotay. If I say that, then it's break the tie. A tier, S tier for Aliana Nechayev. I think that's her first name.
Oh, hang on. I need to go back to this one. I think A. I never really got as.
Are you waxing your mustache?
Yes. Well, today it's pomade, but yes, other days it's wax. Some days it's gel.
Wow.
Now,
How
do you
big
tier
is your
those?
How big is
A
your
tier Nechayev?
I say A. I'm happy with an A on Nechayev.
That's all right. We're done with the.
Just looking at this right now, Hansen's way too low. You guys are crazy.
I think
died a hero.
I think you just happen to really love the episode, so that inflates his tier in your mind.
Oh yeah, I'm so out of left field loving Best of Both Worlds. Really, that's such a hot take for me.
I think it's overrated, personally.
I also agree. We are going to have a conversation about Best of Both Worlds one day, and I'm going to be like, it's not as great as you remember. And I've watched it many times. Sorry, that's not really a brag here, is it? That's like
I'll tell you what's even better than you remember, Family, which comes right after it.
Yeah.
Because
that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's a great 3-part episode. It's essentially a 3-part episode.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the Worf Rozhenko stuff is really good. Wesley with his father is really good, and that has nothing to do with Best of Both. So, well,
look, really. Picard falling apart in the vineyard.
I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't strong enough. I'm better. He's so. There's another memeable, quotable.
I'm better. Write these down and I
stay
can
with
clip
you
them.
for a long time.
All right, we're.
I think we're wrapping things out. Let's wrap things down. Wrap them up and wrap them down. Put them down. Give
Wrap
them to
them
an admiral
sideways.
to launch out of a torpedo tube. This admiral will be D tier.
To know him is.
Yeah, Chai, it's been amazing to have you back. It's been great. I've missed talking to you.
Wait, hold on.
I miss you guys.
In that episode where Data gives that to Nomis to love him speech, you can see what's his name's face through the torpedo. Did they cut a section of the torpedo tube out and replace it with plexiglass so you can see his dead body in the coffin?
What is this transition to?
Well, no, because they have the transport coffins to torpedo tubes. Because Kayla comes aboard the Enterprise D for some reason, aboard one in the first episode she was in. They launch a torpedo and she's in one. So they have transport torpedoes, which is a wild concept.
The
in itself.
Schizoid Man.
Yeah, just a little transparent aluminum. Slap it on there.
Yeah,
it's fine.
But they did that just for the funeral, right? So we could see the body.
Of course, yeah.
I never thought about that before.
It's like, you know, when
It's
there's
just
a
a
corpse on
model.
display. When you have a corpse on display and everyone pays their respects, it's like you do that, but it's more
Maybe
hygienic.
they have special funeral torpedoes they carry just for that occasion.
You can imagine like Voyager's like gone halfway through the Delta Quadrant. They're like, we've run out of torpedoes. What about the funeral torpedoes? No, we can't use those.
No, Harry's due to die any second now. Let's keep one in reserve.
We've got to keep at least one funeral torpedo at one side at all times.
I mean, they did use a bunch of Klingon caskets as a weapon in
true.
Discovery at one point.
That's true.
No, they haven't.
Right.
Sorry.
Cut it off.
Oh, is she? Wait. Is your wife going to come down drunk now, post paddleboarding?
No, we need to go now. I need to leave before I have to. All right, thank you everyone for watching. We'll be back, probably back on Wednesday to play some Mass Effect with me and Stars, but we'll do some more Buttery Zone and some reviewing at some point. Keep an eye on the channel, I'm sure.
Turnabout Intruder.
Oh, yeah, we should do that soon.
We're going to get you on for that.
What a way to end a legacy of Star Trek.
To breathe again, to feel. Oh, we'll also do Return to Tomorrow. That'll be our back-to-back Kirk masterclass. Yeah.
I've got a.
I did this move in the musical. No one could tell. No one noticed it.
I would have given you a standing ovation if you.
I've got a pact with Stars at the moment as the he'll watch Section 31 if I watch that really terrible War of the Worlds film that Amazon just put out. And I took him up and was like,
Oh
I'll
my
absolutely
God.
do that.
The trailer.
It's not just the trailer. Read the. I put some stuff in our chat, but yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll be back soon. And remember, stay in command, you saucy Admiral, you. Bye.
What about you, Hooker?
Don't let them
Well, I was
promote.
thinking about Tahiti. What do you have in mind?
I was thinking about dinner at my place about 8 o'clock. Why don't you make it 7? You can help me find a place to kill some new plants.
Hey, wait a minute. How do I know you can cook?
Hooker, trust me.
Trust me. Now, where have I heard that before? Oh, okay.